Hey guys and welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of What If Naruto was in Negima and was part of the Springfield family. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and also go and support the author, link in description. So Kanoka-san has been learning from Ni-san? Asked Negi. Yep, answered Naruto and Kanoka. And this was ever since the Eva incident? Asked Asuna. Yep, answered the student and teacher. Well, why didn't you tell us? Yelled Asuna with a tick mark on her head. Honestly? Asked Naruto. The two redheads shook their head vigorously. I didn't tell you just for the shits and giggles of it. Answered Naruto with a grin. That was when Asuna tackled him to the ground. You think that was funny? Do know how well we tried to keep it secret from Kanoka? Honestly, you suck sometimes, Naruto said and angered Asuna. Wow, Asu-chan, I didn't know you were so forceful. Trying to have your way with me? Asked a mad grinning Naruto. Asuna looked at her position and noticed she was straddling Naruto. She got a huge blush on her face and backed away. No one noticed that Kanoka narrowed her eyes for a second at this. Why yeah right, you baka, my love is only for Takahata-sensei, said Asuna as she huffed and looked away with a big blush on her face. Naruto heard this and smiled, but on the inside he was hurt from that. Well, we better get ready for breakfast, guys, said Naruto as he walked away. Zero Dining Hall 0. Negi-kun, you look a bit tired, said Kanoka. Well, yes, last night was a bit hectic. Yay, thanks for trying, but Naruto-kun made sure nothing would happen. Ah, Sei-chan. Kanoka smiled at the swordswoman. Setsuna slowly got up with her tray of food and started walking away. Ah, why are you leaving? Don't be embarrassed, come eat with us. Don't run away, Kanoka seemingly shouted as Setsuna actually ran away. Setsuna-san, exclaimed Negi. Naruto was eating in the corner watching the two as they tried to break Setsuna's shell with amusement. I'm not running away, the swordswoman shouted. What was that all about? Akko wondered. That was the first time I've seen Sakurazaki-san acting like that. I wonder if something happened last night, Meiki asked aloud. They were having fun and not telling us, Yuna exclaimed. That's it, we are not sleeping tonight, Shina spoke out for all the girls of 3A. After breakfast, Negi met up with Asuna in the hall. Thanked Kami-sama that monkey woman yesterday didn't have Kanoka. Guess Naruto can do some good. It also looks like Kanoka and Sakurazaki-san are getting along better, Asuna said. What do you mean, some good? Damn, that was harsh, thought Naruto. Yes, but that monkey Ne-san may come back later to try and get her again. Negi frowned. So we really have to be careful on what we do. Also, our groups will be split up during our trip to Nara Park. As a teacher, what should I do? Negi thought. I couldn't give the letter yesterday because we were busy, and we will be in Nara today. So how should I do this? His musing was severely interrupted as a Meiki tackle hugged him, or what is known as a glomp. Negi-kun, come along with our group today, Meiki shouted. Just a moment, Negi-sensei is coming along with group 3. Ayaka interjected, getting in the way of Meiki. The two started arguing again to see who will claim Negi. Negi-sensei, if it's okay with you, we have free activity time today, would you like to come with us? Nodoka asked, mustering up all her courage to do so. Everyone was so surprised by her that all movement stopped. Miyazaki-san, Negi asked. Well, group 5 is more likely to get attacked by the monkey Ne-san. And Kanoka-san is in it as well as Asuna-san and Setsuna-san. So, I would love to go with you in group 5 today, Miyazaki-san. Negi replied, accepting her request. Well then we get Naruto-kun, exclaimed Yuna, glomping Naruto. Meiki cheered and did the same, causing Naruto to fall to the ground. Many of the girls narrowed their eyes at the two. While their group was happy to have Naruto, minus Mana, who looked at him in interest. Akko was a bit fidgety and blushed. Naruto-sensei is going to be with us, she silently cheered in her mind. What? Exclaimed the rest of the girls. Sure, sounds nice, smiled Naruto, still under Yuna and Meiki. The girls sighed in defeat but would get their revenge on Yuna and Meiki later. 0 Nara Park 0. Man Shika, even in a different world your name is attached to deer, thought an amused Naruto. Naruto walked around with group 4 as they feed deer and such. He was reading his book, but Mana could tell he had his guard up the entire time. It just made him more interesting to her. Naruto spent the rest of the day eating and chatting with group 4. He sat next to Akko, the most wanting to get to know her since she was the first girl of 3A he met. She seemed to blush in his presence though, and he assumed she was feeling ill like on the train. But she denied it and said she was feeling a bit hot. Yay, she was XD. Naruto had to save Maki as she was surrounded by deer who wanted a snack. She was nearly crushed if not for Naruto. Afterwards some of the deer sat around Naruto as he read his book. One of the younger deer even laid its head in his lap. With the sun shining on him and deer next to him, the sight was breathtaking as most of the girls couldn't help but blush. The rest of the time went by, especially when Yuna challenged him to a race, and beating her to the charm stand was nice as she said she would get him next time. Akira seemed to be the level-head one of the group along with Mana, but he also found out the group 4 minus Mana was known as the Sports 4. Akko played soccer. Even if she was just the assistant coach, Maki was into gymnastics, Yuna was an all-star in basketball, and Akira was a swimming star. Naruto told them that was very good, be active like that, and hoped for the best they make it big, much to Akko's protest saying she wanted to be a nurse. Still Naruto said that soccer was good to do also, as she could be a nurse, surgeon, soccer star. They all laughed at how ridiculous that sounded. He was also interested that Mana was Shrine Maiden. As the day was ending they went back to the hotel and he said his goodbyes to them but didn't notice how Akko was getting interrogated from her friends. 0 Hotel Lobby 0. Naruto came upon a scary sight. There on the coach was Negi, as if the world had come to an end. Naruto carefully walked up to him and shook him. Neg, do I need to get Shizuna for you? He asked with concern. Ah, man, how am I to deal with this, and on top of that I still need to deliver the letter, exclaimed Negi as Naruto backed away as the kid was flailing around. What's wrong, Negi-sensei? Ayaka went and asked Negi. Did something happen at Nara Park this afternoon, Negi-kun? Maki queried. Nothing happened. No one confessed to me. Negi stuttered. Realizing what he had said, Negi covered his mouth. What was the general consensus of the 3A girls? That idiot, doesn't he know he just dug his own grave? Naruto thought as he shook his head. Ayaka, Negi ran so fast we lost sight of him. Yuna said. There is someone in 3A who can find out about this. Bad things like this cannot continue. This is a job for her, Ayaka said. 0 The Hall of Journalism, Group 3's Room 0. What, there was obscene misconduct between a teacher and a student? Kazumi Asakura exclaimed. That's right, Asakura, it's terrible, Yuna said. That'd be a really big scoop. Well, if it does turn out to be true, that is, Kazumi said smiling. As the official cameraman, Asakura Kazumi of 3A and part of the Mahora Academy News Club's Breaking News Division. If there is a scoop, we check it out without delay. All we need to do is investigate someone. So tell me, who is the suspect? Is it Nita, Saruhiko, Naruto? Actually, Ayaka explained the facts that were actually known to the girls in the room. So all in all, someone confessed to Negi-sensei. There's nothing obscene with that at all. Kazumi shouted. What do you mean? It's beyond more than indecent. At any rate, we need to find who did that to Negi-sensei. Ayaka said. If it's not a scoop, I'm not interested. But it may lead to something larger. Doing regular news articles that normal people want to read are part of the reporter's job, I guess. A confession, huh? Well, there can only be one person who could have done it. Kazumi walked around the halls until she came to the right room. She knocked on the door. Hey, I'm coming in. Hanya-chan, are you in there? She opened the door and only saw Nodoka by herself sipping juice. Ah, good, you're alone. What is it that you need, Asakura-san? Nodoka asked politely. Well, she walked over to her classmate with a tape recorder. Is it true that you slept with Negi-sensei? Nodoka did a spit take to Kazumi's face. Wah, what? I didn't do anything like that. Ha ha ha, I'm just kidding. So you confessed to Negi-sensei today at the park, didn't you? How'd it go? Asakura asked, wiping away the tears in her eyes from laughing. How did it go? Nodoka repeated. I was able to tell him my feelings. I didn't really think I would get response yet. So you don't care what Negi-sensei thinks of you? Kazumi inquired. No, I'm just afraid to hear his response. Aren't you so cute, Hanya-chan? You're not in elementary school anymore. Kazumi then left the room. Please don't tell anyone about this. It might cause trouble for sensei, she trailed off. Okay. She went away from the girl and traveled the halls. Well, I got my info and I can't print it. This will make a problem for Negi-sensei. I'm going to have to destroy this tape. Kazumi sighed. It sure is peaceful. I need a scoop so that it can get the masses' blood racing. As she walked down the stairs she saw Negi. Maybe I should interview the boy himself. Negi wandered around aimlessly and went outside. When he got to the street, he saw a cat about to get ran over by a truck, so he rushed towards the cat to save it. When the truck was right in front of him, Negi used some of his wind magic to flip the truck over and save the cat. "Ah, driver-san, are you alright?" Negi asked the driver as the truck came down. When he saw the driver was just rattled, Negi petted the cat and let it go free. "That's my Negi Aniki, even when he is out of it he just can't help others in need," Chamo said. "But really Negi Aniki, you need to tone down the light show some. I'll be careful next time. Let's go." Negi got on his staff and flew away with Chamo. While all this happened, a wide-eyed Kazumi was watching them fly away. She put her back against the wall and slumped down. What was that? And did that Ermin just talk? Kazumi got off from the wall and watched the boy fly away. And is he flying? This is it, my super special awesome scoop of the century. Zero bathroom zero. A person with supernatural powers, thought Kazumi as she sat on the toilet. A magical boy comes to teach humanity. It sounds crazy, but it fits with what I've seen. This story is huge. What's the best way to handle this? To prove what I've seen. Wait, if Negi is magical, then maybe Naruto is too. Yep, this is going to be good. Zero hot springs, teacher time zero. Sigh. Honestly Negi, get over it. It has happened to me. Well, it has happened a lot and you sulking is getting really annoying, said a bored tone Naruto. Yeah Negi Aniki, if you stick around, there is a chance the girls would come in, Chamo said. Don't worry, it is sensei time. Students can't enter, Negi spoke, but I've got a lot on my mind. Someone is coming inside Aniki's era. Negi sensei, Naruto sensei, how are you two? Shizuna greeted the two. Shizuna blushed at looking at the nearly naked Naruto. This caused the boy to look at her strangely. He then felt her signature and grin. Shizuna sensei, Negi shouted. You guys did great today. Negi-kun, do you want me to wash your back? Shizuna asked. Shizuna-san, how was your day? Asked an interested Naruto. Well, it was nice Naruto-sensei. The girls can get a bit rowdy though. I agree, but they are still good girls. But my favorite has to be Kazumi-chan. Squeaked the three. Well, Chamo was quite about it. Yay, don't tell anyone, but I kinda got a thing for redheads, and she seems very nice and energetic too, Naruto said with a smile, though he was cackling like a madman on the inside. Naruto-sensei likes me. Oh man, chill girl, remember your mission and then play with the hunky blonde sensei later, Kazumi thought as she shook her head of the double meaning of his words. Negi-sensei, I know about your secret, she whispered. I know you're a mage and so is Naruto-sensei. Did you hear that from the principal? Negi asked. Well, I wouldn't know about that. Though I have a request. Can I see your powers? I can't do that. I'd be MMF. Negi was put into her breasts. Damn, if Ero Sennin was here, Neg would be his apprentice in a second, Naruto thought. When Negi got free from her breasts he blushed. I know it's rude to ask, but did your breasts get smaller, Shizuna-sensei? Negi asked. What? I'm the fourth largest in the class, you know, Shizuna shouted. I even let you touch them and Naruto-sensei look at them. She blushed harder when she saw Naruto smirking at her. Fourth largest in the class? Who are you? Negi demanded. I've guessed you figured it out. One moment I'm a big-breasted teacher and next I am the breaking news reporter. My true identity is 3A's Seat 3, Asakura Kazumi. She grabbed her wig and threw it off, to reveal the red-haired teen, without the ponytail. You know, I really like your hair like that. It suits you nicely, Naruto said, smiling. Really? Kazumi asked, not missing a beat but still blushed. Naruto Aniki, stop flirting and erase her memory, Chamo exclaimed. Right, Negi said as he started chanting. Whoa, magic boy, hold it right there, Kazumi said, holding up a phone. Make one move towards me. All I have to do is press the send button and all your secrets will be revealed to the world through my home page. She then felt a pair of arms wrap around her and someone's hot breath on her ear. She gasped at the feeling and she didn't even notice she dropped her phone, which Chamo ran to. Now Kazumi-chan, that wasn't very nice. If you continue to behave like this I might have to punish you, Naruto whispered in her ear in a husky voice. This sent shivers down Kazumi's spine. Oh Kami-sama, Kazumi shoots and she scores. As she didn't know way, but the being punished by Naruto didn't sound that bad. She shook her head. Damn, he is good. Mission girl, remember Super Scoop. Now care to tell us what you were planning? Asked Naruto as he played with her hair. Fine fine, I'm doing this because of my ambition. Kazumi said, my dream is to be a famous news reporter, and with this scoop I will achieve just that. I will have exclusive interviews and the media world will be at my feet. Negi-sensei will be famous. I don't want that sort of thing to happen. Negi cried. But I'll give you an equal share of the profit. You too, Naruto-kun. No thanks, as my monetary needs are covered from my other job. Said Naruto. So how about it, Negi-sensei? I mean, it must be boring as a teacher here. Wouldn't it be better to be able to use magic anytime you want? Asked Kazumi. Negi was crying and sniffling that his identity was found and she was giving him an ultimatum. His brain snapped and he began wailing. I don't want that to happen. Waahhhhh. I want to be a teacher. His wind magic went berserk and sent Kazumi flying away. That baka, that's it, someone is getting meditation CDs on their birthday. Naruto thought as he leapt up to catch Kazumi. He caught her bridal style and then pulled her close so she wouldn't fall. She had heat go to her cheeks as he did. He used his gravity magic to ease his descent and lightly landed in the water. Now Kazumi-chan, do you promise to be good or do you really want to be punished? Naruto asked with a toothy grin. No, Naruto-kun, she stuttered with her face beet red as her inner self was screaming yes. Hey, wait a second, what were those sobs just now? Asuna, Yuna, Ayaka, Maki, and Fuka came in. Naruto-kun, Negi-kun. Oh no, groaned Kazumi. This is your idea of investigating? Getting naked with the subject and his brother. Naruto, you're so dead, you pervert. OMG, they were going to have a threesome, shouted Fuka just to add more fuel to the fire. Ak, help me. Asu-chan, not the face. Yes the face, yes the face. OWW, there goes my scoop. Wizards are a major pain, mumbled Kazumi. Not really, Nei-san. You got spunk and I like spunk, Chamo said as he walked up to her and gave her phone back after deleting the pics. Zero in the bushes, the spying duo were meeting Zero. So do we have a deal? Chamo asked the redhead. Of course we do, Kazumi smirked. When do we start Operation X? Why, tonight of course, Chamo puffed from his cigar. We have some planning to do. Ha 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 ha. Kazumi joined in. Their laughter echoed around the bathhouse. Zero in the hotel lobby. Zero. Someone found out about you being a mage, Asuna shouted, and of all people Asakura. Why yes, Negi sniffled. How could you do something so stupid? And of all people paparazzi girl. Having Asakura find out is almost as bad as the world knowing. Don't worry Asu-chan, I think Kazumi-chan won't do anything, said Naruto with a smirk and a bandaged face. Quiet playboy, I'm still pissed at you. Kono-chan, Asu-chan is being mean to me, said a whimpering Naruto who was hugging the brunette. Konoka giggled and hugged Naruto's head and stroked his hair, which was really soft. She noted, there Naruto-kun, I'll heal your boo-boos later. She spoke as if he was a toddler and he nodded. Asuna's eye twitched and mumbled about Konoka babying him, and she really didn't like him all close to Konoka for some reason, but just dismissed it as not wanting her to be near a pervert. Hey Negi-sensei, Kazumi greeted as she came into the room with Chamo on her shoulder. What do you want, Asakura? Asuna glared at the girl. Are you here to pick on Negi? Pick on Negi? What are you talking about? Aniki's, reporter Nei-san is on our side now, Chamo cheered. That's right, Chamo here convinced me to turn over a new leaf. So from here on out I am your and Naruto-kun's agent if you need me. Kazumi said. Really? Negi shouted. Yup, I'm even going to give you back the negatives, she explained, handing over an envelope with pictures inside. Thank you so much. This makes me lose one problem. Negi cried tears of joy. What's going on, Negi-sensei? Ayaka asked with the rest of 3A behind her. I was just improving my relationship with Asakura-san. Don't say things like that, Negi-sensei. You're my teacher and I already have my eyes set on another guy. She smiled and winked at Naruto. Konoka saw this and hugged Naruto into her bosom, much to the blonde's joy, and she was satisfied to see some of the girls in the area eyes twitched it and smirked. Hey girls, it's almost time for bed. Get back to your rooms, Nita-sensei said. He turned towards the Springfield brothers. Negi-san, Naruto-san, please don't get too soft on your students. The girls dejectedly went into their rooms, but started their own activities inside. Groups 2 and 4 were holding a pillow fight. Groups 3 and 1 were telling scary stories. Group 5 was discussing the events of the confession made by Nodoka. Too bad Nita put a stop to it too. He forbade the girls to go out of their rooms with punishment by squatting in the lobby. Well, it seems like that could have went better, Kazumi said from out of nowhere. Where were you the whole time, you coward? Ayaka said. It doesn't matter where I was hiding the whole time, but it would be a waste of time if tonight ended just like that. So I got a suggestion. How about a little game? I won't allow this sort of thing. Ayaka denied the request. What kind of game would it be? Fuka asked her fellow redhead. Let's just call it War of the Lips. A plan to get a kiss on the lips on Negi-sensei and Naruto-sensei. As she saved herself from her slip. A kiss with Negi-sensei and Naruto-sensei. The class shouted. Hey, quiet down, we don't want Nita finding out about this. Kazumi warned them. The rules are simple. Every group will choose 2 representatives. Those 2 will wander the hotel looking for Negi-sensei and Naruto-sensei to get a kiss from them, as well as dodging any of the other teachers. You can sabotage other teams if you want to, but you can only use pillows. There is a wonderful prize to the winners. But if you get caught, you will squat until morning without telling Nita about the game, even if you die. What's the wonderful prize you talked about? Fuka asked. So what do you say, Ainsho? As she dodged the question. As class president, Ayaka said with her hair covering her eyes. I definitely approve. Her face was a bright tomato red when she agreed. Okay, all groups must tell me their representatives by 10:30. The game will start at 11. The rest of 3A cheered. She walked away and Chamo appeared from within the vest of her uniform. That went really well. Everything is going according to plan. Just what I expected from Yune-san. My plan to get more of these, he pulled out some pactios, will come to fruition. So these are the wonderful prizes, huh? Hi, Negi Aniki and Naruto Aniki have the originals, but I made these using my magic, so partners can you them. I've set up a magic circle around the hotel, so if anyone kisses either Aniki, we will be able to establish a contract immediately. And since these are 50,000 Ermin dollar a card, when we sell them we will be rich. 0 Naruto and Party 0. Negi-sensei, we finished our patrol and I improved the barrier. Setsuna said to her teacher. But I saw Chamo set up a weird spell outside. I wonder what he is up to. Asuna said. Negi shivered right then and there. Negi, you cold? No, I'm fine, Asuna-san. Negi said. I think I'll go on patrol. I have an odd feeling that I shouldn't be here tonight. Now that you mention it, I feel it too. I feel it too, like something different in the air. Said Kanoka. Ditto, said Naruto as he rubbed his shoulder. This aura in the air reminded him of his fangirls when they try to love him. Yet it does not feel evil at all. Setsuna interjected. Whatever the case may be, if you go on patrol, I'll give you these substitution stencils. Substitution stencils. Negi-sensei, it's almost time to go to sleep, Shizuna said as she opened the door to his room. Ah yes, I was about to go to sleep. I'm gonna roam the halls a bit then hit the hay, said Naruto as he headed down the hall. Very well, we'll handle looking over the children. Please don't leave your room, Shizuna told him as she walked off. As she turned the corner she removed her hair to reveal Kazumi. Hurry up, Ne-san, the game is about to begin, Chamo shouted. I know that, but I already have the video cameras set up so we don't need to worry. From within a secret room she had set up a screen that had 6 videos being streamed into all the TVs for the class of 3A. The representatives were Fuka and Fumika for Group 1. Kaide and Ku for Group 2. Group 3 was being represented by Ayaka and Chisame. Group 4 by Maki and Yuna. Finally Group 5 was Yu and Nodoka. All right, let the games begin, Kazumi shouted into the microphone. Where did this cold come from? Negi said from within the confines of his room. I may as well use these stencils Setsuna-san gave me. She told me to write my name in Japanese with a brush. Negi wrote on the first one, but instead of Negi he wrote and spelt his name wrong, and on the 5th and final try he got his name written. Finally I wrote it right. Charm-san, please take my place. In a flash of white light the stencil became a clone of Negi. Hello, I am Negi. Wow, it looks just like me. It's like Ne-san's clones. We don't have anything like this in the West. Negi commented. Alright, please take my place and sleep. I'm Negi. Alright, I'm off to patrol, Negi shouted as he jumped out the window. As his copy closed the curtains, the stencils in the trash came to life. Hello others, I am Negi. It seems like a bunch of you were created. Copy, Negi said to his brothers. Yes, replied the other four. My orders were to stay here and sleep. I don't have orders, one of the failed copies said. Me either, the three repeated. Well then let's just watch some TV while we wait. Zero Sports Duo 0. Hey Yuna, I heard Negi was sleeping in the teacher's room. Maki said to her friend. But there is a chance that Nita will be there somewhere nearby. What should we do? We'll let our competition handle him, but I wanna get Naruto-kun. Yuna said with a smirk. Hey Ainsho, are you sure we can't go back? Chisame complained to Ayaka. Chisame-san, you give up too early, Ayaka said. When they reached the end of the hallway they bumped into Maki and Yuna. Ainsho, Maki. The two girls shouted at each other and swung their pillows. They hit each other in the head dead on, making them dizzy. Good job Maki, you got Ainsho. Yuna cheered as she went to hit Chisame. Chisame just walked out of the way mumbling something about stupid kids games. Oh, I see a lot of opponents here. Ku Fei shouted as she and Kaide came down the stairs. Ku ran down the stairs and jumped. Chinese triple pillow attack. She threw the pillows that were mouth and hands at Chisame, Ayaka and Yuna. Chisame got knocked out from the force of the pillow throw. The three groups proceeded to smack the life out of each other, from which everyone saw on screen. Chisame-san, give me some backup, Ayaka shouted. She turned around when she got no response. She left. Far off in another hallway Chisame was walking, talking to herself and cleaning her glasses. When she stopped in front of a door, it slid open to reveal Nita. He grabbed her by the collar when she tried to run. Hasagawa, what do you think you are doing? Ah, that was fast. She was caught by Nita already, Kazumi said as she did a play-by-play for the viewers. What was that? Maki shouted. Oh no, it's Nita, Yuna screamed. Everyone run. Kaide, Ku whispered. Kaide nodded and they both they ran like hell, smacking Yuna with a pillow before they left. Hey, Akashi, you too. Nita dragged the girl to make her squat next to Chisame in the lobby. It's squatting till morning for both of you. From behind a corner Ayaka and Maki watched their partners squatting on the floor. Damn, at this rate those two are going, those Baka Rangers are unstoppable. Are really? Maki asked. I'll allow anyone else to do it other than them. Let's call a truce, Maki. Fine, there is an alliance, but the faster one of us will be winner. No complaints, and the Negi Love Alliance left. Yo Nita-san, what's going on here? Asked Naruto. Chisame and Yuna looked at him and he seemed to be wearing a black tank top that showed his muscles and gray sweatpants. Nita turned to his colleague. It seems your students have been running around after hours, Naruto-san, so they will be squatting in the hall till dawn. Ah, I see. He turned to the girls. I am a bit disappointed in you too. I would have thought you would follow the rules, but I find you here. He shakes his head. I may have to take this from your free time tomorrow for this, girls. In fact, I may just keep you in the hotel. Naruto continued to scold them and Nita smiled seeing how the young teacher was educating his students, so he took his leave and left the rest to Naruto. And another thing. Naruto turned to see Nita leave. Okay, you girls can go back to what you were doing. He gave them a shooing motion with his hand. Just don't let him catch you again, cause if he does I can't protect you, got it? Asked a smirking Naruto as he walked away. Chisame let out a sigh as she walked away and thanked Naruto with a small smile, but she was stopped by Yuna. What do you want, Akashi? I need a partner. I mean, Ainsho left you to rot, don't you want some payback? Chisame gave a nod, wanting some payback on the girl who forced her to do this, and the two dashed to mess up Ayaka and Maki. Yuna seemed to have forgotten her goal was right there a minute ago. Zero the Bookworm Duo 0. You, Nodoka called out to her best friend. What is it? I'm kind of busy, Yu responded. Why are we traveling on the roof to get to Negi-sensei? Nodoka and Yu were crawling on the ledge of the roof. By my calculations, this is the safest and quickest route to Negi-sensei. Yu explained. His room is at the end of the building, and going to it from the inside will lead us into trouble with the other groups. Yu and were walking through the halls near Negi's room and Nodoka was getting nervous. This is my chance. As she finished her thought, a rope ladder fell out of the roof. The twins then popped out. It's Group 5, Fuka shouted. Get them. Fuka and Fumika were about to attack Nodoka with some of their fake ninjutsu, when a pillow hit Fuka in the head. Fuka-san, Fumika-san, I will be your opponent, Yu declared. Dang you, that hurt. Do you really think you can beat a pair of Kuga ninjas? Fuka shouted. The two charged, but Yu just brought the pillows down on their heads. When they got up they saw Yu holding two thick books. You began to thrash the girls using the books while they ran in circles. You using books is cheating. Yeah, you can only hit us with pillows. Fumika cried out. Nodoka, hurry and get through the door. I'll hold them off here. But, Nodoka stuttered. I've found them. Ku shouted from the end of the hall. This is not good, you thought. You then proceeded to shove Nodoka into the door. Nodoka crept towards Negi's sleeping form and knelt beside it. I'm sorry Negi-sensei that it had to be this way. But I'm glad, so please let me kiss you Negi-sensei. Nodoka whispered. Zero with Kazumi and the play-by-play Zero. It seems like Nodoka Miyazaki of Group 5 got into Negi's-sensei's room, but failed to kiss him. Kazumi announced. It seems like he had escaped into the hotel. The odds are still the same. Nei-san, I think I'm going crazy. Chamo said, because I see 5 Negi Anikis walking around. Uh-oh. Zero with Naruto Zero. You run around, I run around, we all do a run around. Naruto was singing as he walked the halls, and from the noises he was hearing wondering what the hell the girls were up to. Then his danger senses kicked in and jumped to the left to dodge a kick. He saw the figure of Ku-fei as she turned around and got into a stance that looked like Chinese martial arts. Hey Ku-chan, why did you try to attack me? If it's about that extra HW I gave in class that one time, there's no need to be this angry. Naruto said as he got into the Juken stance. Nope, Kaide said you were strong Uru. And I always like to fight strong people Uru. Said Ku-fei. She is right Naruto-sensei, as I want to see how strong you are too, and if we win you give us a kiss. Said the voice of Kaide. Ku got a bit red in the face about the kiss but charged at Naruto before he could reply. Zero with the masses Zero. Go get them Naruto-kun. Don't lose, exclaimed Kanoka. Hey Kanoka, what gives you got a bet on who gets Naruto-kun? Asked Haruna. No, I just don't want any of them to kiss him. Oh, does someone like our hunky blonde sensei? Shush Peru, Naruto-kun is winning. Said Kanoka, completely ignoring the question, but she would admit she liked her sensei. Zero back to Deadliest Warrior Zero. Naruto dodged Ku and did 3 quick strikes at her right arm which caused it to slump. Ku tried to move it but she just settled to continue fighting and went for a kick. Naruto flipped back and jumped forward to dodge Kaide and got into a clash of fists with her. He disengaged and focused on Ku and the two looked like they were dancing. Ku got the feeling in her arm again and lashed out a punch, and Naruto did too. Naruto caught hers as she caught his and the two pushed till their faces were a few inches away from each other. Ya know you're not half bad Ku-chan, how about after the trip we fight for real? Naruto didn't wait for an answer and jumped back. After getting some distance from the two, Naruto slow edged away. Do you not like us Naruto-sensei because you seem to resisting? I would have thought a teenage boy would like to kiss a girl. Said Kaide, trying to get a raise out of the blonde. Oh, I would love to, it's just you girl got to work for it. And he ran away. Oh, you not getting away Uru, we still fight. Exclaimed Ku-fei as she chased him. Kaide just shook her head and followed. Zero the Negi Love Alliance Zero. Ayaka was in the gathering hall looking for Negi, when she heard one of his clones call out from behind her. Meiki was walking down the hall and looking for Negi as well, but was using candy to lure him out, when another copy called out to her. Ku-fei and Kaide were walking down the halls after losing Naruto, when one of his other copies appeared behind them calling out to Ku. The same was said to Fumika. Okay Nodoka, rest up, I'll get Negi-sensei for you. You said from within her teacher's room. But first the bathroom. You walked over to the bathroom and opened the door to see Negi inside. Negi-sensei. Why hello you-san, clone Negi said. Perfect timing, I need you to do a favor. Nodoka-san is sleeping isn't she? Well, this is perfect, I actually have a favor for you too. Negi-sensei. This is hard to ask but. All 5 Negis spoke at the same time in different places. Can I kiss you? What the hell is this? There are 5 Negis and asking for a kiss at the same time. All the spectators were awed and shocked by the scene. So you-san, may I? Clone Negi asked as he moved closer to her. You kept backing up to get away from him but tripped on Nodoka. Negi-sensei, I was mistaken about you. Nodoka confessed to you but you come to me right after that. You jerk, you fumed. Sorry but I really want to kiss you. A similar thing was happening with the others. One was asking Ayaka to kiss him. In response she went to set up a camera and put up some makeup. Meiki slapped her clone and pinched his cheek. Ku became a bit more girly, while holding up the copy to the wall using her foot causing cracks. Fuka and Fumika had gotten into a fight to see who would kiss him. Yu was having an internal battle over what to do. She was confused about what was happening right there and then. She really didn't want this and cried as the Negi clone gripped her shoulders and brought his lips near hers. All she could think was, "I'm so sorry, Nodoka." She closed her eyes as he drew closer. Her body felt lighter as she opened her eyes to see Naruto holding Negi by his neck. Yu looked into her older teacher's eyes and saw nothing but fury in his blue and green eyes. "Clones are my thing, Negi, and if you can't control them, you are in so much trouble, you little brat." Seeing as how one of them almost assaulted their student, he crushed the clone's neck and it turned into a piece of paper. "What happened? He wasn't real," asked Yu. Naruto bent down and gave Yu a once-over. "That thing didn't hurt you, did it, Yu-chan?" asked Naruto with nothing but concern in his voice. Yu said no and asked what it was. "Look at the TV, Yu-chan," Naruto said. Yu turned to the TV and was surprised to see that there were other Negis on the screen. "There are 5 Negis," Yu shouted. "You girls head back to your rooms. If Nita catches you, tell him that I scolded you and sent you back to your room expecting an essay or something." They nodded. "Naruto-sensei, where are you going?" Yu asked. "To protect my students," Naruto told the girl. "Let's do as he says and go to our room, Nodoka," Yu said. As they left, Asakura said something over the TV. And it seems like Naruto-sensei has joined the fray after being so elusive with the fighting duo. 0 Hotel Lobby 0. He is so dead. The brat doesn't even know Eastern magic and he does it anyway. Naruto thought as he rushed to the lobby and he heard a familiar voice. "Be careful, these are just fakes set up by Asakura," Yu shouted. "Didn't I tell you to go to your room?" Naruto asked. Yu nodded. "I wanted to tell the others." Yu defended herself. "Forget about fakes, other chance to win is right here, Uru," Ku Fei shouted. Kaide grabbed one of the copies to kiss it as Ku went after Naruto. After kissing the clone, it turned to smoke. "What is with all this smoke?" Nita shouted as he came into the lobby. Out of the smoke 3 Negis popped up and scared the living daylights out of him, prompting him to faint. "Do they explode if we kiss the wrong one?" Meiki asked. "Apparently," Yu answered. "It seems like they got away," Ayaka said. "After them." "Damn, Ku-chan, take it easy," said Naruto as the two continued their fight. Down one hall, Meiki used her gymnast ribbon to catch one Negi and kissed him on the cheek. This Negi exploded into smoke too. The twins caught another one and kissed it, but they too were blown away. "Those 3 others were fakes, so that means this one must be the real Negi-sensei," said Ayaka as she caught the last Negi and kissed it, but it blew up. Yu looked out the window and saw the real Negi coming back. "There he is." She pushed Nodoka into the lobby to meet the boy. "Miyazaki-san, about what happened this afternoon?" Negi started. "No, we don't have to talk about it. As long as you heard what I said, I'm fine," Nodoka said. "I'm sorry, Miyazaki-san, that I can't give a reply. I really don't know what it means to like someone. But I like Miyazaki-san, but I like everyone in my class. Asuna-san, Ainsho and all the Baka Rangers. I like them as a teacher would like their students. I can't give you a proper answer yet," Negi explained himself. "How about we start out as friends, yes?" "Okay," Nodoka smiled. "Yup, this is the real Negi-sensei, he is only 10 after all." Yu thought of something and smirked. She kicked Nodoka's foot and toppled her over, making her and Negi kiss. "I'm so sorry, Negi-sensei." "No, I'm sorry," Negi apologized. "What the heck is going on here?" asked Asuna as she and Setsuna jogged in. "Ku-chan, chill, I said we could fight later," shouted Naruto as he ran from the fighting maniac. "No way, Uru, get back here," said Ku Fei following his tail. Naruto leapt over a coach, but his foot caught the end of it. Was all Naruto said as he went flying and landed right on Setsuna, and their lips locked. Their eyes went wide at this and everyone gasped. Naruto finally landed and was on top of Setsuna and quickly pulled away. Setsuna was stuttering about what happened. The rest of the girls were cursing her luck. Asuna, well, it wasn't going too pretty for Naruto, that was for sure. "Naruto," raged Asuna. "0 with Kanoka 0. Osei-chan was so lucky. I wonder if it would be okay to ask for an indirect kiss." Kanoka quietly asked herself cutely with her finger tapping her chin. 0 with the sneaky tag team 0. "Sweet, Miyazaki, Nodoka and Setsuna and San got a card," Chamo shouted. "We also got 5 more from the fakes," Kazumi said. "Lucky Setsuna, I am so not giving up," she grumbled in her head, let's split before anything happens. She walked out the door and bumped into Nita. So you are the ring leader, Asakura. Nita said, all participants must squat till morning. You two Negi-sensei and Naruto-sensei. I can't believe you were messing with your students like that. He grabbed Negi but Naruto was long gone after getting away from Asuna for Nita to catch him. 0 The next morning 0. Most of the girls of 3A were in the gathering hall looking at Nodoka's and Setsuna's prize, their Pactios. So that is the wonderful prize huh? Yuna grinned at the winner. It also got Hanya's picture on it. The picture on the card was Nodoka in her school uniform with several books floating around, with one in particular in front of her. Look at Sakurazaki-san's. Setsuna's was a picture of her in her school uniform with angel wings on her back. She was standing straight up with her right hand over her heart with a gold bracelet with 7 pink petals around it on her wrist. In the background was a big pink 7-petal flower. The name of the card was Septem Orbiscustos 7 Rings Guardian 1. That's amazing, I want one too. Fuka shouted. Well, you had to be the winners of the love operation. Misa said. Then let's do it again sometime. Chisame frowned at the suggestion. She was still in pain from doing squats all night after getting caught again with Yuna. That's so cool, Nodoka and Sei-chan. Kanoka admired the card. Can I hold it? Sure, Kanoka-san, Nodoka said. So this is what you get when you kiss Negi-kun or Naruto-kun. I should have gone too, said Kanoka as she missed her chance to get a Pactio with Naruto. Kanoka-san, you dragged on. Don't worry too much, my target is a much harder prize. Kanoka said as she waved off you. Okay girls, since today is the 3rd day of the trip, it is free activity day. Go back to your rooms and get ready, Shizuna announced to the girls. You did very well, Nodoka Miyazaki. From now on I acknowledge you as my love rival, Ayaka shouted. We won't lose to you next time, Hanya-chan. Meiki agreed. Yay, Sakurazaki-san, just you wait, said Yuna, and some of the other girls nodded with her. Setsuna nodded and she blushed at remembering when her Ojo-sama asked for a kiss after the event, to which she fainted at said request. She and Kanoka walked up and met Naruto, Negi, Asuna, Kazumi, and Chamo. Setsuna sighed as she remembered the scolding she got from Naruto about giving Negi something he was not ready to use reasonably and how he gave the boy a pounding after he told them what a clone almost did to you. She scolded herself for that as well. It took Kanoka a good 5 minutes to fix up Negi with healing magic, and Naruto said it was good practice, but the boy understood why and was deeply upset about what happened. Asuna also sent some glares at Naruto for being a pervert. Even if it was an accident with the whole kissing thing. I can't believe this, huffed Asuna. What the heck are you going to do with these Negi and you two Naruto? Asuna said as she held up the 5 botched contracts and the 2 real ones. So Sakurazaki-san and you got cards that would help, right? Said Kazumi. Yeah, agreed Chamo. Shut Asakura, you too Chamo, you pervert, said Asuna. Hi, they both said in fear. Anyway, Hanya-chan is just a normal girl. How can you expect her to get involved in all this magic junk? Questioned Asuna. But Asuna-san, you're a normal girl too, said Negi. PFF, yay right Neg, Asu-chan was born for this. Thought Naruto. A little late for that ya brat, said Asuna as she poked the boy. Too bad, the card looked really powerful too. Anyway, An-san, here is your card and you too Setsuna An-san. Chamo said as he gave the 2 girls their cards. Adit. In a flash Asuna's horizon came to life. How did you know that, An-san? Asked Chamo. Asuna smirked. I have a Pactio with Naruto here and he taught me how to use it. But still I wish I could make it into a sword. Don't worry Asu-chan, after this trip we'll work on it, said a smiling Naruto. So Asuna has a Pactio with Naruto-kun also, I wonder if I could get one. Thought Kazumi. Adit, said Setsuna as the bracelet from the card came onto her wrist. So what does it do? Asked Setsuna. Setsuna-chan, let me see it, said Naruto as Setsuna walked over to him and he examined the artifact. Setsuna was blushing a bit on how Naruto was holding her hand. From what I can see, the artifact means 7 Rings Guardian. The petals on it may represent something personal or close to you, or your limit to use this artifact is 7, I'm not sure. The guardian part of the name refers to defense or protector, so that may be where the artifact's ability lays, like how Asu-chan's is used for defense. If my history is right, this artifact seems similar to a shield used in the Trojan Wars. It was called Ro-Ayas, or the 7 rings that cover the fiery heavens. Try calling its name and think of a shield. Naruto said. Setsuna nodded. Ro eyes. One petal on her wrist glowed and a large pink petal came in front of her. It seemed to have drained her somewhat but nothing noteworthy. So you summoned one petal, and it used some of your energy, so it may be key related. Also you may have to push more energy into it to make it larger or add more petals to make it stronger, that's my theory. Naruto mused. The others looked at him like he was crazy, but Negi and Chamo looked in awe at how Naruto analyzed the artifact so quickly. Setsuna looked at the artifact on her wrist and thought that sacrificing ki to create a shield would increase her combat abilities greatly, since she mainly would have to dodge to defend herself from magical attacks. Kanoka had a foxy smile on her face at a thought she had. Naruto-kun, can I have a pactio with you too? Kanoka asked cutely. Everyone looked at Kanoka and Kazumi smirked too. Yeah, I mean that would be awesome to have one. Asuna growled and bopped both of them with her horizon. Can it you too? That's enough kiss for blonde for one trip. Owie. Ouch. Ah, Asu-chan, do you want to keep me all to yourself? Asked a grinning Naruto. She set herself up so easily. Asuna blushed and turned away muttering, idiot. Unbeknownst to them, Nodoka was watching the whole time. Zero Negi, Naruto, and Chamo Zero. Everyone has free time today, so today is my chance to get the letter to the Kensai Magic Association. Negi spoke to Chamo. He snuck out of the hotel, dodging a few of the groups along the way. When he was finally outside, Negi pulled out a map of the area. I've got to hurry to the Kensai Magic Association's main temple. Where is it anyways? I don't think it's that far from here, Chamo said, looking at the map. As long as I can make it and help the headmaster reconcile with Kansai's head, we'll be okay. Though I did tell Ni-san and Asuna-san to meet up here at the bridge. Where are they? Negi-sensei. A girl with a sing-song voice called out to him. Negi turned around to see Naruto and Asuna with the rest of the girls of Group 5. What cute clothes you girls have, Negi exclaimed. Yu was wearing a black and white hoodie, a plaid skirt, black stockings and high-cut white boots. Haruna had on a blue jacket, a white t-shirt, black pants with a dark blue skirt and white sneakers. Nodoka wore a pale yellow sweater, a green skirt, black socks and brown shoes. Kanoka wore the same thing she wore on the shopping trip they did before the whole trip, a white sweater and a pink skirt with boots. Asuna was wearing a white t-shirt with long orange sleeves, a matching skirt, black pants and running shoes. Setsuna was in her regular school uniform. While Naruto had a black hoodie, blue jeans, a dark orange shirt and his combat boots. Wait a minute, why is everyone else here? He whispered to Naruto and Asuna. Sorry, I was busted by Peru. Asuna apologized embarrassedly. Naruto, who was behind her, shrugged. Wow, even the area around the hotel is nice, Negi said as they walked. Yes, the Arashiyama Sagano area has many places famous for their fall scenery. We should come here during autumn to see the trees, Yu explained. So sensei, where are we going? Haruna asked. Do you want me to guide you? Yu inquired. Ah no, I was heading off that way, Negi said, pointing towards the direction of the shrine. Asuna-san, what are we going to do? He whispered to the orange-haired girl. Well, we could try to lose them in the crowd, Asuna guessed. Hey Asuna, can I ask you something? Haruna asked. Yeah, what? Are you and Negi-sensei dating? At the question, Asuna slammed her head into a tanuki statue, while Naruto was laughing at her reaction. Do you really think I'll date him? He's 10. I'll date blonde way before I'll date Negi. Blonde? Haruna questioned. She then heard some chuckling and turned to Naruto. Oh Asu-chan, I knew you loved me, as he hugged her from behind. She then kicked on the head, leaving a bump on it. Baka, I didn't really mean the whole me dating you part. She shouted, storming away. Naruto got up and rubbed his head. He turned to Haruna and said, she so loves me. Naruto chuckled. Haruna joined in, laughing as well at her teacher's antics. Yeah, she loves you so much it hurts you, she joked. Exactly, Naruto smirked. Hey, there's an arcade over there, she announced to the group. Let's take some sticker photos to commemorate our time here in Kyoto. The group went to take pictures, but had to drag Setsuna with them. They took several different photos of the groups. There was one with Negi and Nodoka in it, Negi and Asuna, Kanoka and Setsuna, Yu, Haruna and Negi, Naruto and Asuna of him hugging her at the last minute. Naruto and Kanoka took a picture together while she hugged him. And if anyone looked, they would see an ermine in a few of them. Everyone come here, Kanoka shouted near a video game station. This is our chance, Negi and Iki. Just play some games for now, and then wait for a chance to go leave. Chamo said. Alright, Negi agreed. They reached the video game and saw a bunch of kids playing it. Naruto was standing behind them watching with some interest. What kind of game are you playing? Negi asked. It's a game about mages. You said. Do you remember the game we played on the train? This is a video game version of it. Haruna explained. A game about mages, huh? Maybe I should give it a shot. Negi stated. Here is my starter deck, Negi-sensei. You handed him over a few cards. After a few minutes Negi had won the match. Whoa sensei, you're awesome. Are you sure you're a beginner? Haruna asked. Excuse me, do you mind if I join? A boy with a black school uniform and white beanie covering his long black hair asked. Sure, why not? Negi answered. They played for a few minutes and this time Negi lost. I lost. No, that was really good for your first time, Negi-sensei. Haruna said, cheering him up. That's right, you're not bad at all. Though it will take you some time to be a real mage, the boy told Negi, smiling at him. I got to go, but I'll see you around, Negi Springfield. How do you know my name? Negi shouted, surprised. Your name's on the screen. The boy said, point to the screen that said Game Over Negi Springfield. Naruto just shook his head at Negi's naivete, however he didn't trust that boy as he sensed his ki level and it was high for a kid his age. As the boy was leaving he bumped into Nodoka, making them fall. The boy had to grab his hat before I fell off his head. Sorry Oni-chan. He then got up and ran away. By the way, I can see you panties. He laughed as he left the room, leaving a blushing Nodoka. Haruna and you were already playing the game with Konoka watching. Sakurazaki-san, we are leaving Konoka to you. Asuna said. Okay, be careful, Setsuna replied. Asuna and Negi were about to leave when they noticed Naruto hadn't budged. Ni-san, aren't you coming too? Negi asked. No, Kono-chan is their main target, so the letter isn't really important right now. It is just your test to deliver it. If you need me, I'll know, said a confident Naruto as he looked very serious and was in mission mode. The 2+ Chamo nodded at this and left. Kono-chan, stay on guard and have your wand at the ready. Setsuna-chan, stick close to her just in case. Naruto whispered to the two and they nodded in response. Naruto looked around for a bit and saw they were missing someone. Where's Nodoka-chan? Asked Naruto. Zero, back alley 0. The boy who challenged Negi to the game had run into an alley. He stopped and spoke to someone in the shadows. I knew it, his name was Springfield. Interesting. The Sons of the Thousand Master, huh? Well, it doesn't matter, I'll get those kids back for before. The figure stepped out of the shadows to reveal the monkey woman accompanied by 2 other people. The one to her right was Tsukuyomi and to her left was a boy with white hair in a blue school uniform. Behind all 3 of them was a beast with a charm on its forehead. Zero Kensai Shrine 0. This is the headquarters of the Kensai Magic Association, Negi said, looking up the stairs of a rather large shrine. So we just go up, right? Asuna asked. Negi nodded. Let's just get this over with. They didn't move from their spot when a tiny Setsuna in priestess robes and had a tiny sword appeared in front of them. Kagarazaka-san, is Negi-sensei okay? The thing asked. Sakurazaki-san, Asuna asked. Well, no, it's a technique that allows me to communicate to you over far distances. Please call me Chibi Setsuna. Chibi Setsuna bowed to them. Negi and Asuna sweat dropped. Just so you know, the East isn't known for its warm welcomes, so watch out for traps. We don't know what those people who attacked us 2 days ago are going to do. I'll be careful, Negi said. I don't worry, I got your back. Adit. The fan appeared in Asuna's hand with her gauntlets. Let's go. Asuna, Negi and the rest of the group ran into the shrine. They stopped behind 2 posts. I don't see anyone coming. I also don't feel any magic nearby, Negi told Asuna. Let's get the rest with one go. After 30 minutes of running through the stairs, Asuna nearly collapsed. These stairs go on forever, Asuna said, catching her breath. Could it be? Chibi Setsuna mumbled. Negi-sensei, let's go ahead. Okay, Asuna-san, you rest here, Negi said. He ran forwards for a minute and to his surprise ended up right behind Asuna. Negi, how did you get back there? Asuna asked. I knew it, Negi-sensei, let's go to the side, Chibi Setsuna said. Once again they ended up in the same spot they were originally at. There is no mistaking it. We are in an infinite time-space loop. We are currently trapped in a sphere in about 500 meters in all directions of us that loops around in a circle. 0 nearby 0. Fufufu, it looks like they fell into our trap. The monkey lady said from within the trees. We'll just let him rot here since there is no escape. All you guys have to do is stay here and watch them. But that is boring, the black-haired boy said. He was sitting next to a giant spider. I hate boring plans like this. I mean, it's not like they are strong. I'm more of an in-your-face fight type of guy. Just be quiet and do as you are told. The monkey lady jumped down and disappeared. Man, this sucks. Zero back with Negi 0. Aniki, let's try flying through the top. Right, Negi got on his staff and began to fly upwards, but when he reached a certain height he appeared right in front of Asuna again. We might be stuck here forever. Asuna shouted. Can the real Setsuna-san come and help us out? Negi asked Chibi Setsuna. I am sorry, but Oju-sama is being targeted as we speak. I cannot leave her side. See, Setsuna said. How about Naruto Aniki? Chamo said. Oh yeah, he said he would come if we need him, so let's have Sakurazaki-san tell him. Asuna exclaimed. But what if Ni-san doesn't know how to get out of here? And if he was busy trying to help us, what if Setsuna-san got outnumbered? Negi reasoned to Asuna. This is bad. I need to use the bathroom. Asuna thought. She started to tremble. Ah, get me out of here. She screamed and began to run again. Wait for me, Asuna-san. Negi began to run too. I can't take this anymore. Asuna cried out, still running. An-san, we just can't keep on running around like this. Chamo told her. There's a stop over there. Chibi Setsuna pointed out to the group. Thank God there's a bathroom. Asuna shouted as she went into it. A few minutes later the group was sitting down and drinking some tea from the vending machine. Okay, let's think about what is happening and assess our situation and find a way out of this place. Negi said to the group. Why do they want to stop us from handing over that letter? Asuna asked. I guess they don't want to improve the current relationship between East and West. Chibi Setsuna said. What do you mean by that? It is because Kensai thinks that the Kanto region forgot its heritage and became influenced by Western magic. Do you want a sandwich, Asuna-san? Negi asked. Yeah, thanks Negi. We should take the time right now to figure out a strategy. Chamo suggested to the group. You're right, we don't know when the enemy will attack. Chibi Setsuna agreed with Chamo. Last time we had Setsuna An-san and Naruto Aniki. But now it's just going to be Negi Aniki and An-san. Speaking of which, just how much stronger do I get when we activate the contract? Asuna asked the group. Let's test it out. Chamo ran over to a rock and stood next to it. An-san, I want you to kick this rock as hard as you can. But it looks like it will hurt. Don't worry about it. Fine, whatever you say, Chamo. Asuna went for a drop kick on the rock. When her foot connected she retracted it and jumped around holding her foot in pain. Now Negi Aniki, activate the contract. Negi nodded. Sis me apars per 30 seconds. Ministra Nehi Kagurazaka Asuna, Negi proclaimed. A light white aura surrounded Asuna again. That aura around you is magical energy, An-san. Okay, An-san, kick the rock again. This time things will be different. Asuna kicked the rock and it crumbled into pieces. That works similar to the ki used by us in the Shinmei Ryu. The swordsmen of the Shinmei Ryu use ki from within their bodies and use it in their combat techniques. Though it is said to take years to learn on how to draw upon and manipulate ki. Chibi Setsuna explained. For a partner they draw upon the power from the mage to greatly enhance their physical capabilities. Chamo said. Up in the trees the boy was smiling wickedly. How is your magic, Negi-sensei? Chibi Setsuna asked. Oh, you don't have to worry about him, he's really strong. Asuna patted Negi on the back. Yeah, he graduated at the top of his class. But in all honesty I only know 9 combat spells. The magic school wouldn't teach us anything beyond magic projectiles and disarming my opponents. So that's why I snuck into the library and learned some on my own. Plus most of it was self-taught and some instruction from Ni-san. If we were attacked by experts right now, would we be able to win? Negi thought. An image flashed in Negi's head. The image contained a man with a flowing robe holding up a demon by its neck. Rubble surrounded him and flames danced in the background with a blonde boy dancing around demons and destroying them. Do you think I can make myself stronger by drawing on magical energy too? It's possible, Chamo said, but I wouldn't recommend it. Don't worry about it for now. Most ordinary charm casters from the Kensai Magic Association can't beat you. Chibi Setsuna said. Yeah, no problem. Those guys are no match for us. Asuna smirked. Now I can't let that last comment go, a voice from above said. Falling in front of them was a gigantic spider and atop it was the black-haired boy. Maybe you should try me on for size before mouthing off comments like that. Bring it on Western Mage, or should I say Negi Springfield? The boy taunted. You're the boy from the arcade, Negi shouted, as Kanoka-san in danger. We're in the clear for now, Chibi Setsuna reassured Negi. Was this the one who set up the trap? Was him going to the arcade just so he can scout me out? He has a Goki too, so it is going to be a mage versus charm caster and partner versus Goki battle again. Negi assessed. Negi now, Asuna barked. Okay, sis me a pars per nonagenta secundas. Ministra nahi kagurazaka Asuna. The aura appeared again and Asuna charged. Don't think because you're a brat I'm going to go easy on you, Asuna shouted. She punched the spider with her gauntlet creating a dent on its exoskeleton flipping it over, but the boy jumped away. She then slammed the spider with her fan turning it to a charm once more. Hell yeah I'm good. Asuna heard clapping and looked at the roof. The boy was clapping for her. Not bad Oni-san, not bad at all. I heard there was a girl who can break our charms with enemies so I brought along a stronger one than usual. But I was wrong you were too strong for that one too. He turned and glared at Negi. But as for you, you're just a shrimp. The strong one there is the Oni-san. Aren't you embarrassed to be protected by a girl? That is why I hate Western mages. Come on Negi we can't lose to this guy. Besides you're just a crying that you lost your Goki. You don't stand a chance anymore. So if you are going to surrender do it fast. Asuna yelled. You don't get it either Oni-san. I'm no ordinary magic user. The boy jumped from the roof and went to attack Asuna. Asuna took many slashes at him but he dodged all of them with ease. The boy jumped over the last move, sweep kicked Asuna tripping her and charged Negi. Ross telephone ma sure magister flans exclamadio. Negi used the spell as the boy got close holding charms in his face. The boy's charms were destroyed along with his beanie, to reveal dog ears. Negi was surprised however when the boy punched him in the face sending him away. 0 Nodoka 0. Nodoka was watching the things go on in the book while she sat down next to a fence, quietly wondering if this was real. 0 Negi and Team 0. Stop running away you shrimp. The boy shouted. He did an upwards palm thrust finally getting past Negi's magical barrier. When Negi landed he coughed up blood. You should have told us before that you were a fighter and not a mage. Asuna accused the boy. Hey it's your fault for assuming things. The boy shot back with his hands behind his head. And stop picking on Negi. I'm your opponent. Sorry I don't hit girls. Not even strong ones like you Oni-san. Ha, you Western mages are so weak. I bet your dad the Thousand or brother the Yellow Flash or whatever aren't so great either. Chamo threw a smoke bomb so they can do a tactical retreat. When the smoke cleared Asuna and Negi were gone. Get back here you cowards. You can run from me but you will never escape. 0 with Negi and Party 0. Gah who the hell does that mouthy brat think he is? Also what is up with those stupid ears he has? Asuna shouted. An-san, quiet down. Chamo attempted to calm the girl. The boy is a Kuzuko. Chibi Setsuna said. A what? A wolf or fox type of monster. In other words we're facing a demon. What the heck, so we're fighting another monster. Such freaking pain in the ass this trip turned out to be. She turned to Negi was thinking. Negi you beat Eva the strongest of all monsters. You should be able to floor a guy your age in no time. She stopped mid-rant and looked at Negi noticing that he was bleeding. You're bleeding, just hold still I'll get a towel. Asuna-san Negi started. I studied how to fight in order to find my father. I believed that I needed combat ability to find him. You know Takamichi and Ni-san spent a whole month teaching me how to fight. What Takahata-sensei and Naruto? You got to tell me all of it in detail. Maybe next time, but it was a miracle that we won against Evangeline-san and you saw how she and Ni-san fought, she was going easy on me. I'm still inexperienced but I need to get stronger in order to get to my father. That is why I have to beat that guy. How are you going to win against him Negi Aniki? Don't worry I have a plan. 0 Nodoka 0. That's good Negi-sensei has a plan. Nodoka chirped. Found you. The boy from before shouted. The boy tripped and landed in Nodoka's panties. Ah, sorry I thought you were someone else. Hey you're the Oni-chan from the arcade. And you were the one that ran into me, said Nodoka. Damn, did she follow me? Thought the boy. You shouldn't be in here. It said, entry prohibited, outside you know. I'm sorry I was just trying to find my friends. Nodoka stuttered. Well there is a fight going around here, and a girl like you shouldn't be around. I'll undo the trap later. Stick tight around here till then. The boy was about to run off when Nodoka called out to him. Wait, my name is Miyazaki Nodoka. What's yours? She asked the boy. Well, since you did give me yours, it would be impolite not to give you mine's. My name is Kotarou, Anagami Kotarou. The boy then ran off. See you around, Pink Panties Oni-chan. Adit, hang on sensei. 0 with Operation Strike Back 0. Negi and Asuna were waiting for their opponent in an open area. When they heard rustling in the trees, Negi started to chant. Ros telephone ma sure magister evocatio valsiriarum contubernalia gladiaria. Intercept and attack. As he finished his spell, several lightning Negi clones on staffs flew towards the noise. Kotarou was jumping on the gates and smirked. Finally fighting me for real, huh shrimp. He kicked away 2 of the clones, dispersing them. He then got 3 knives and destroyed the others. He turned around just in time to block an onslaught of lightning arrows. Ros telephone ma sure magister unis fulgur considens noctum, in mea manu ens animicum edit. Fulguratio albicans, ray of light that tears apart the night sky, gather unto my hand and strike down my enemies. White thunder. A burst of intense electricity erupted from Negi's hand and hit Kotarou, sending him flying of the post he was on, onto the ground covered in smoke. What was that? It was awesome, Asuna shouted. That's Negi Aniki for you. Using a 3-layer spell combination and a feint. It's the basics for mage versus fighter situations. Chamo smirked. But it's not over yet, Chibi Setsuna said. Just as she said, Kotarou sped out of the smoke with just a few burns. Not bad, Shrimpy. You destroyed all my shield charms. But if I had taken the brunt of that attack, I would have been in so much pain. Hey, don't go after Negi, face me. Fighter to fighter, Asuna said as she got in front of Negi to defend him while he chanted. She went to slash Kotarou, but he dodged and was already behind Negi. He then punched Negi in the gut, stopping his spell and popping him into the air. He followed up the attack by punching him in the face, then the gut again. To finish off the attack, he knuckled him on the back of the head, sending him sprawling on the floor. Listen, Oni-san, I ain't no fighter. I'm an Inagami Tsukai, a person who uses the power of dog gods. And you best remember that. Though I did train in some ninjutsu too, Kotarou said to Asuna while summoning a pack of dogs from the shadows. Go play with the Oni-san over there. The dogs barked and then proceeded to lick Asuna into submission. Ha ha ha, what's wrong with these dogs? Asuna laughed. Asuna-san, Negi managed to say. Kotarou frowned that the boy wasn't out yet, and punched him into the floor even more, breaking tile. This is bad. There is barely any magic left within Negi Aniki's barrier. If he keeps going on like this, the barrier will break, and with that he'll be taking the full force of that kid's attacks. Chamo screamed. So you mean, Asuna said, still being licked by the dogs. That boy's punches are full of ki, and you saw how strong those are. If he isn't careful, Negi Aniki won't just get off in critical, he'll be down for good. The conversation ended when they saw Negi slamming into a rock a few feet away. Kotarou appeared before him and began to pummel him into oblivion. See, this is how weak Western mages are without their partners. And without time to chant their spells, they are nothing. Take this, you shrimp. Kotarou kicked Negi and sent him into another rock. I've won. Time to end it. Kotarou charged with another ki-enhanced punch. This is it, Negi thought. The punch was coming and Negi spoke. Activate the contract for half a second for Negi Springfield. The aura that once surrounded Asuna, this time filled Negi. Negi parried Kotarou's attack, surprising the dog boy. Negi then used uppercut, sending the boy into the air. Still having some of the magic surrounding him, Negi appeared below Kotarou and chanted. Ros telephone ma sure magister unis fulgur considens noctum, in mea manu ens animicum edit. Fulguratio albicans. Negi cast one of his most powerful spells at point blank on the dog boy, shocking him and frying some of his nerves. How was that? That was the power of Western mages. All right, Negi, Asuna cheered. Man, Negi Aniki, I was losing my fur there for a second. Waiting for a chance to counter, where even a master wouldn't be able to escape. You took a lot of damage. It's no simple feat to be able to come up with a plan like that and so soon. For Negi-sensei to have such willpower and wisdom, only few can do that, Chibi Setsuna thought. Now we just have to escape, Chamo said. That's right, we still haven't found a way out of here. Hold it right there. Kotarou heaved as he got up. This is the first time a human had hurt me so seriously. So I'll take back what I said about you, Negi Springfield. But it is not over yet. When Kotaro was standing at his fullest, he looked like a cross between a man and a white dog. He had white fur all over his body and a tail, and his hair even grew longer. "What the heck is that?" Asuna shouted. The dog boy smirked and attacked, but both Negi and Asuna dodged. When they saw the damage caused to the floor, they decided that getting hit was a bad idea, since the floor had erupted into rubble. "I've got no choice," Negi said. "Activate the contract for 10 seconds for Negi Springfield." Kotaro rushed forward but disappeared due to his speed. "I can't see him. He's too fast. Is he on my right or left?" Negi thought. "To your left, sensei." Negi then dodged to the left, barely being missed by Kotaro's punch. Negi turned and saw Nodoka standing there. "Nodoka-san," he asked. "Hanya-chan, what are you doing here?" Asuna shouted. "To your right, sensei." Negi followed the instruction and dodged, following up with a palm strike to Kotaro's face. "Above you." Negi sidestepped an uppercut to the face. Spinning kick from behind. Negi spun out of the range of the attack and punched Kotaro to the head. Both fighters winced due to their injuries. "Negi Aniki is too injured, we have to get out of here," Chamo ordered. "Chamo-san, I think I know how to get us out of here," Nodoka said. She took a deep breath. "Kotaro-kun, how do we get out of here?" "What did you say? Are you some kind of idiot, Oni-chan? Why would I tell ya that?" Kotaro shouted. Nodoka was looking inside her book and a new entry appeared. It was a picture of Kotaro and a gate, saying to destroy the seals on it to get free. "This might be bad, she just read my thoughts," Kotaro thought. "We just have to head to the 6th gate east of here, and then destroy the hidden runes on the left, right on top of it to get free." Chamo's, Asuna's and Kotaro's jaws dropped. Negi got on his staff and flew. He grabbed Nodoka holding her bridal style. He cast more magical arrows and destroyed the runes. "Kagarazaka-san, break the light that comes from the barrier," Chibi Setsuna said. "Gotcha." Asuna swiped at the crack with her fan, breaking it and freeing them. Chibi Setsuna sealed the gate, trapping Kotaro inside. "Zero with Negi and friends Zero. I guess you found out, huh?" Negi asked Nodoka as she, Asuna and himself had a small picnic. "I'm sorry for trying to deceive you, but it was a secret." "It's all right. I had a vague guess on it, really," Nodoka said, blushing. "Really?" Negi shouted. Nodoka nodded. "But to think that Negi-sensei is mage. It's like from something, a fantasy novel from the library, it's kind of exciting." "Hey Negi, I thought we didn't want Hanya-chan involved with this." Asuna questioned her teacher. "But she already knows. Also, she has a powerful artifact. It would be good to have it," Chamo said as he jumped up and down. "Aw Negi, you haven't stopped bleeding. Are you sure it doesn't hurt?" "Asuna-san, I'm okay, I swear." Negi-sensei. I bring disinfectants with me and band-aids, let me help you," Nodoka said. After being patched up, Chibi Setsuna spoke up. "Since we're out, we need to head for the Kensai Magic Association soon. We have to hurry and deliver that letter. You can't leave Miyazaki-san here, so she'll have to calm up." Setsuna started to tremble. "What's wrong?" Asuna asked worriedly. "Something is happening to my real body. I can't keep the connection." Chibi Setsuna then popped back into a piece of paper. "Oh no, something must have happened on Setsuna and San and Naruto Aniki's side," Chamo said, holding the piece of paper. "Zero with Naruto and Setsuna Zero. So you finally decided to come. Good, this cloak and dagger shit was getting annoying," said Naruto, grinning that Springfield grin as he closed his book. Setsuna was hastily dragging Kanoka out of the arcade and far away. Naruto was not in the back of the group, watching out for potential threats. "Hey, why are we running so far all of a sudden?" Yu asked. "Yeah, what's happening, Sakurazaki-san?" Haruna shouted as they ran through the streets. "As some old flame after you?" "No, nothing like that," Setsuna said. "I'm sorry Kanoka Ojou-sama, but we have to keep on moving." Kanoka nodded and was ready with wand in her sleeve. Naruto was alongside her, running with his guard up. A glint of in the sunlight caught his attention and he got in front of Setsuna and Kanoka, doing a grabbing motion then running off. Setsuna looked at him till Naruto held up some Senbon. Kanoka and Setsuna's eyes widened. They're attacking in broad daylight now, Setsuna thought. "Setsuna-chan, let's go to Cinema Town," Naruto whispered to her. Setsuna mentally nodded at what he said and turned to Haruna and Yu. "I'm sorry Saotome-san, Ayase-san, but I'm sorry about this, but I want to be alone with Kanoka-san and Naruto-sensei." Okay," the two replied. Setsuna proceeded to carry Kanoka bridal style and jump over the wall with Naruto following. causing the two other students to sweat drop. Was that CG? Haruna asked Yu. I thought you had to pay to get in. Yu answered, ignoring the question. Two girls alone with Naruto-kun together, it can be. Haruna mumbled in excitement. What's going on? Asked Yu. She then walked into the town, Haruna in tow. Atop an electrical post was the gothic Lolita Tsukuyomi. She was watching Setsuna with a dreamy look in her eyes. Setsuna-senpai is so devoted, even when not working. Though the choice of where to escape to is rather interesting. Zero Cinema Town 0. Setsuna was walking through the streets of cinema, continuously looking over her shoulder. As long as there are a lot of people, they won't do anything. We can wait for Negi-sensei and the others here. Let's see if I can contact them. Negi-sensei. Negi-sensei. Shoot. They did cut off my connection with the Shikigami, but last I saw Negi-sensei, he was pretty banged up. Naruto-sensei should be staking the area for potential threats, so we should be safe, for now. Sei-chan. Sei-chan. Kanoka called out to her. Yes, Ojo-sama. Setsuna turned around to see Kanoka in a stunning crimson kimono with floral designs and her hair put into an elegant ponytail. She was using an umbrella to shade herself. Setsuna blushed. Kanoka Ojo-sama, why are you wearing those clothes? There were changing rooms over there, that you can borrow costumes. So how do I look, Sei-chan? Kanoka asked, doing a twirl. You look beautiful, Setsuna stammered. She has truly grown up beautifully. Hey, thank you. Kanoka went into a thinking pose, then smiled. I know what to do, why don't you get you a costume too? I'll even pick it for you. What? I don't think I have that one fits me, Kanoka Ojo-sama, Setsuna complained as she was dragged and forced into a costume. She had on green hakama, black and gold chest armor, and a white jacket with red triangle designs on the bottom. She had on a hitai on her forehead, along with a fake sword under her real one. Ojo-sama, I don't get why I have wear male clothing. It suits you, Sei-chan. Indeed, Setsuna-chan, you do come off as a valiant warrior, said a male voice. The two turned to see Naruto in a black muscle-like shirt with black pants and steel boots. What finished the outfit off was a red coat-like garb. Both blushed at the muscles they were seeing, and they were not the only ones, as the rest of the females in the crowd were drooling at him. Well then, let's look around for good hiding places, Kanoka said, which she meant let's go buy stuff. Kanoka grabbed both their arms and made them walk with her to various stores. Hey look, Sei-chan, Naruto-kun. She grabbed a piece of bread from a table and stuffed it in her mouth. It's a sweet bun, she said with giant eyes. Setsuna couldn't help herself and laughed while Naruto gave a chuckle at the sight. Turning around until her laughter subsided, Setsuna took in deep breaths. Sorry, Setsuna apologized, though she had to stifle her giggles. Kanoka beamed brightly at her. You finally laughed, Sei-chan. A troop of school girls were watching them and cheered. Hey, it's a pretty boy samurai and his princess. A nameless girl shouted. Do you mind if we take a picture? Sure, Kanoka chirped. Can you do a poser for us? Setsuna grabbed and held Kanoka protectively and drew her sword as they took the picture. After the picture, Kanoka turned to Setsuna and giggled. Sei-chan, you look so much like a boy, they might think we are a couple. What are you saying, Ojo-sama? Setsuna shouted, flustered. Setsuna then smiled a very small smile. I guess this is fine. I mean, we used to play like this all the time. Can I have a copy of that photo? Setsuna asked the girl who had taken the picture. Kanoka also requested for one. Haruna, all I can see is those three have a good relationship. You said, as she was and her friend were spying on the three. There is nothing going on between them. But I mean, look at them, it seems they are really close to each other. And don't forget how Naruto-kun kissed Sakurazaki-san, those three together, she trailed off, drooling. Haruna tried to persuade her friend to agree with her. They heard chuckling behind them, so Haruna and Yu turned around to see the entirety of Group 3. There is something suspicious about those three, Kazumi said, scratching her chin. She was in a black kimono. Chizuru was in a black western dress complete with top hat. Natsumi was in a pink kimono. Ayaka was in red one with a wig on her head put in the old Japanese fashion women wore during the time of samurai. Chisame was in a traditional priestess costume. You guys came to Cinema Town too. And what's with the weird get-ups? Haruna asked. You should change, it feels awesome. Hey look, someone is coming. Natsumi pointed out. A carriage came to a halt in front of Kanoka, Setsuna, and Naruto. In it was a girl in an English woman dress that was all in white. A fan was covering her face. You're Setsuna started. That's right, I'm from the Shinmei Ryu. Just kidding, Tsukuyomi said as she got out of the carriage. I'm just a noble woman from a western house, you swordsman. I've come to take the princess in place of the money I lent you. What are you doing? There are civilians here. Sei-chan, she is trying to foul the crowd, whispered Kanoka. Cinema Town sometimes spontaneously gets visitors to be in an act, Yu explained. Then this is how she will try to get Kanoka Oju-sama. They are pretending this is an act, Setsuna thought. Now I just can't allow that, said Naruto as he walked in front of the two girls. Oh, and why not Oni-san? Asked the Lolita. Due to the rules of the Grail, and as long as my master holds my command seals, I cannot allow my master to be harmed or taken away. If you try, then I, Servant Archer, will stop you, said Naruto as he pulled a black bow and a spiral arrow out of nowhere. It came with the costume, so he might as well use it for show. Naruto-sensei can act, Chizuru wondered. Maybe we should recruit him for the drama club. Must Natsumi? Wow, he even acts like the character, clapped Haruna. Damn, sensei is working that outfit, said Kazumi as she took pictures for the masses, yay. Tsukuyomi giggled, then took off a glove, then threw it at Setsuna. I'll challenge you for Kanoka-sama. The place will be at the Japanese bridge opposite of the main gate. Oh, and you can't ask that Oni-san for help. We have a special guest for him. Too bad, because I would love to taste the yellow flash's blood. Her irises turned white and the sclera turned black, a demonic grin was adopted on her face. Kanoka flinched but stood her ground. I'll see you in 30 minutes. She got in her carriage and drove away. I would suggest you find stronger enemies, master, as my arrows may dull from such cowardice adversaries, said Naruto, keeping in character. I'll see what I can do about it, Archer-kun, said Kanoka with her finger to her chin. Setsuna's sweat dropped at how they continued the act till applause broke out from the crowd. Soon the rest of the class came and barraged the three with questions. Sakurazaki-san, what is going on here? Why didn't you tell us something important like this? Kazumi shouted. Naruto-kun, your acting was awesome. She is right, sensei, you so got to let me draw you lat. OW, said Haruna as Yu dragged her by her ear. No, drawing our sensei for your perverted manga, Haruna, said Yu, sipping her juice. Please slow down, what are you two talking about? Setsuna asked. Naruto groaned, already feeling the headache coming on. He knew what these girls were talking about and really did not want another random rumor going to affect his life. He turned to Setsuna. Setsuna-chan, I'm going to find this special guest that creepy loli was talking about. Stick close, and if Kono-chan tells you to give her room, do so, okay? He asked cryptically. Setsuna wasn't sure till she saw Kanoka show her wand and then nodded to the command. Naruto dashed away and left a clone to watch and interfere, if needed. He couldn't protect them all the time. Naruto continued walking for a good 20 minutes till he was in an empty lot. He spiked his magic a bit to draw some attention, and a second later an boy with white hair in a blue uniform. Naruto looked at the boy and froze. It can't be, he looks similar to the design of the others I have seen from Uncle Al's memories, but, for one to be here, why? I'm curious as to why an Avarunkus would be here, Naruto asked in a neutral tone and wordlessly casting his battle enhancement magic. Ah, just what I would expect from you, Naruto-kun, you seem to carry your mother's attitude and none of your idiotic father's. I am impressed, as that should be the way the heir of the royal family of Vespertatia should act. Naruto's hand twitched, ready to kill him. Now don't be so shocked, you look just like her, and since your father is the Thousand Master, it was easy for us to put it together, especially those eyes of yours since they are a trait in your royal blood, said the boy in a neutral tone. Fuck me sideways. They knew. Are they here for Negi, to test him to see if he is a threat or take him out now since they didn't have that chance with me, or? Naruto's mind was going at speeds faster than most people trying to figure out this puppet's game. You seem to be trying to figure out my purpose, said the boy. It is hard to ignore you and your kind, but tell me your name, as it is only fair since you know my full name, asked Naruto. For this mission I go by Fate Avarunkus, but since you know about me, Naruto-kun, I will tell you my full name. It is Tertium, the Avarunkus of Earth. He said this as a stone spikes rose from the ground beneath Naruto. Zero play theme of Archer Zero. Naruto dodged by jumping back and activated his Raiden no Yoroi to increase his speed even higher and went for a key-enhanced kick, but Fate's barrier blocked it. Naruto jumped back again and vanished and reappeared behind Fate and went for an elbow strike to the head, but Fate blocked from behind. As he did, Naruto used gravity magic to slip Fate up a bit and rotated his body to perform a roundhouse kick to the boy's face and sent him flying for a second till he corrected himself in the air and dashed forward at high speed. Naruto stood his ground and just at the last second caught the fist intended for his face most likely and threw Fate into the ground and was about to punch his face till another stone spike came from behind Naruto, where he felt this and flipped Fate to take the hit and jumped to the side. The spike stopped as Fate threw his hand up to stop it. Naruto created 2 lightning lances and charged with them for some melee damage. Fate saw this and made 2 stone swords. And they clashed in a ferocious battle of elemental weapons. As the fight continued, each was getting nicks and cuts on their bodies, and at the same time one of each of their weapons broke from overuse. Naruto jumped high and charged his lance with more lightning and threw it at Fate as he cancelled his sword and pulled up his barrier, and smoke filled the area on impact. Fate's instincts kicked in and he dodged a one-finger Jigokuzuki aimed for his neck but failed to get out of the way fully as his shoulder was pierced as at this close of a range and the attack's piercing quality it ripped through like bullet. The two got some distance and stared at each other. They couldn't escalate this battle to a higher level due to the civilians in the area, but Naruto didn't realize Fate thought the same way. 0 Theme of Archer 0. I must admit, Naruto-kun, your rumors do you know justice, spoke Fate as he held his shoulder and his eyes showed respect for his opponent in front of him. Thank you, now tell me your purpose here before I cut your strings, said Naruto with authority in his voice. I will just say that the woman I work for means little to me. Sadly, that is all I can say for now. Naruto then got a tingle from the back of his head, most likely a clone using a Harishin kunai to call him back. Well, Tertium, it seems I am needed elsewhere, so, bye, Naruto said as he flashed away. Naruto Springfield, yes, you are a truly worthy opponent in future events to come, said Fate as he used his gate to return to his current base of operations. Zero back with Setsuna and the others. 0. Naruto met back up with the group and had his clone pop and saw what happened and was proud that Konoka pushed Setsuna out of the way and used a 5-layer barrier to block the arrow intended for her. And walked with the group after a wardrobe change to his usual battle outfit and had Konoka heal him a bit away from the company they were traveling with. 0 with Negi. 0. I don't think it is a good idea to go help out Sakurazaki-san or Naruto right now, Asuna said. I mean, you're still pretty beat up. It's okay. I got a call from Setsuna-san. They said that they got out of the cinema town and no one is after them. Hey Asu-chan, the voice of Naruto echoed. Oh good, they are here. Asuna turned around, then she shouted in surprise. What are they doing here? Huh, Naruto turned around and saw that the rest of the group 5 was with him. Oh them, well, you see, Kazumi-chan put a GPS on Setsuna-chan while we were changing, so they followed us here. My apologies. Setsuna bowed. The group was currently walking towards the Kensai Magic Association with Negi on Naruto's back and Kazumi holding Negi's staff. You shouldn't have done that. Do you know how dangerous it is right now? Negi almost died a little while ago, shouted Asuna. We all may die if I don't take out that boy soon, or at least weaken him. Naruto thought he needed to discuss this with Aishin. Welcome Konoka Ojoyu-sama. Naruto-sama, they all announced in unison. Konoka blushed embarrassed, as did Naruto. Sakurazaki-san, what's going on here? Asuna asked in confusion. Well, this is the Kensai Magic Association's headquarters, but at the same time it is also Konoka Ojoyu-sama's home, and since Naruto-sensei is good friends with the chief, so he is a welcomed guest that is treated very well, Setsuna explained. The group then entered the home. This place hasn't gotten any smaller, Naruto said looking around. They sat down kneeling on some pillows in the main hall. If you would please wait here, the chief will be with you shortly, a random maid said. So if this is your house, Konoka-san, does that mean? Negi asked. Thank you for waiting, Asuna-kun, Konoka's classmates and your teacher Negi-sensei. And if it isn't Naruto-kun, you seem to have grown even taller than last time. I welcome you to my home. Konoka's father, Kono Aishin, greeted them. Chu-san, Konoka said and gave a small nod as she was a bit upset with him right now. Konoka-san's father was the chief of the West, Negi asked. I think he's hot, Asuna said in awe. Naruto just gave her a WTF expression. I think I might just unseal her memories now to stop this delusional older men fantasy, thought Naruto. You know, Asuna, I will never get your taste in men, Kazumi shouted. Ah, Chief-san, I have a letter for the chief of the West, the principal of Mahora Academy, Kono Kanaman, chief of the East, Negi stated, giving the letter to Konoka's father. I know all about it. I'm sorry it must have been hard on you. he said to the young teacher. And no, it wasn't. The head opened the letter and found a piece of paper with a chibi principal shaking his fist at him saying, "Get your people in line, son-in-law. All right, by my will. We will try to cease our differences and console with the West. Your mission is complete, Negi Springfield-kun." The girls cheered for him and tossed him into the air. "It'll be sunset by the time you get to the bottom of the mountain, so why don't you stay for the night? I'll have a feast prepared for you too." "Ah yeah," Kazumi and Haruna shouted. "For tagalongs, I'll say," Asuna deadpanned. "But if we don't get back, people will be wondering where we are." "I mean, this is a school trip we are on," Negi said. "No worries, I'll send paper doubles in your stead," said the chief. "Bull to that, my clone is there for me," thought Naruto, refusing to ever use a paper double after the kissing game incident. The feast proceeded and some of the girls, namely Kazumi, Haruna, Nodoka and Yu, got drunk not knowing there was alcohol in their drinks. "Setsuna-kun," Aishin called out to her. Setsuna perked up then knelt down to him. "See, chief, you would speak to someone like me." "Oh, please don't be formal. I just wanted to thank you for protecting Konoka for those 2 years in Mahora. You responded to my requests and did marvelously." "Ah no, it is okay. It is my pleasure protecting Ojou-sama. Your words are wasted on me." She then adopted a sad look. "I was unable to protect her today." Naruto flicked her nose. "Naruto-sensei. Stop that shit already, Setsuna-chan. You managed to keep Tsukuyomi at bay. And I think Kono-chan did great with her magic protecting you, just like I trained her too," Naruto said as he looked Aishin. "So you have been teaching her, Naruto-kun?" Aishin said. "Yup, I wasn't going to let your fear stop her from facing the inevitable, Aishin. I did it to protect her," he countered. "For how long? Till she lived in Mahora forever. Till she dead, deaf, dumb, and blind to the world around her. No, you let your fears from the war control your judgment. In fact, what if Setsuna-chan wasn't enough to stop them and she died? You also hurt Setsuna-chan by having her go with your selfishness, Aishin, so to me you wronged both of them. Dad wasn't dumb to do that to me and I turned out to be one of the strongest people around from it. I plan to do that with Kono-chan also and maybe Setsuna-chan for some physical training if she wants," Naruto said as he winking at Setsuna, which she blushed to and was also shocked at how he ripped the chief a new one. The chief sighed heavily. "You are right, Naruto-kun, and it seems you don't carry that idiot's brain as much as I thought. More like your mother's and her blunt honestly. I will talk to Konoka later. For what it is worth, Setsuna-kun, I am truly sorry for my selfish request," Aishin said as he walked away. 0 The bathhouse 0. Asuna let out a sigh of relief as she sat down in the bath. "Awah, with all that's happened today, it's so nice to wash all the sweat away. And wash away the tired, while you're at it," Setsuna said as she sat down next to her. "This bath is huge, just like the house itself. I mean, I would have never guessed Konoka lived in something like this. Well, it's... Oh, and I heard all about how you tried to protect Konoka in Cinema Town. Though it is usually the knight that protects the princess, not the other way around, ha ha ha, but I guess a favorite princess is trying to get stronger along with us. What about you, Kagarazaka-san? Huh. I mean, you're always helping Negi-sensei. It nothing like that, he's just a brat, I worry about him, beside I would take blonde over that brat any day." "Oh, so you like Naruto-sensei then?" "And no, it's just, look, that can out wrong," said a flustered Asuna. "Kagarazaka-san, you know I'm just joking with you, right?" Setsuna apologized. "I know, however you can call me Asuna from now on." "Then you can call me Setsuna. I also have a lot to talk to you about. Please come to the baths with Konoka Ojou-sama after this." "I can do that." Any further conversation was stopped when they heard male voices outside the door. "Shoot, it's Negi, Naruto and Konoka's dad." "Hide," Asuna whispered. They hid behind a rock near the bath. "Aw, thank you too for protecting my little girl," Aishin stated as the trio got into the bath. "I hope my men didn't cause you much trouble." "Peef, Kono-chan doesn't need looking after that much, Aishin. Me, Asu-chan, and Setsuna-chan are all she needs, and maybe the Gaki over here," Naruto said, thumbing at Negi. "And I think your men are getting lazy as all hell. I mean, where was the challenge?" Naruto expressed while throwing his hands in the air. "They have showed me I am still lacking, but I will train to get stronger," Negi replied. "A long time ago there was a lot who did not like the East. Fortunately the only ones left active are few in numbers. So please leave the rest to us. Unfortunately we are low on manpower right now. most of our agents are spread out throughout western Japan. They will be back tomorrow. That's great news, Negi shouted. But what about that monkey lady? You mean Amagasaki Chigusa? She seems to have a grudge against western mages. But what does she need Kanoka-san for? She wants an ace. An ace? Yes, I think you have realized it by now. As a member of the Kono bloodline, Kanoka inherited a great deal of magic. The ability to control that magic is somewhere in her lying dormant. That power can surpass even your father, Negi and Naruto-kun, the Thousand Master. In other words, Kanoka is a mage with unimaginable powers. If that power is somehow controlled, it will only be a matter of days until someone takes over the west or destroys the east. That is why we sent her to Mahora to keep her protected. We even kept it secret from her as well. Naruto just shook his head at this. By the way, what do you know about the Thousand Master? Negi asked, making Naruto sweat dropped from Negi's lack of knowledge of their father's group. Neg, Aishin and Dad are best buds. Negi was shocked. Indeed we are. So Naruto-kun, how are things going between you and Theodora-sama? Asked an interested Aishin. Wah. From what I hear, you two are quite the item. Most of the rumors from the magical world are that you two are secret lovers. Naruto started to sputter at this. What? But me and Theo-chan are best friends. I mean, sure, we hang out a lot and we have kissed a few times, and she asks me to help her get away from her suitors. I mean, at times she is like my sister, then my girlfriend, and at the scary times my wife. And don't even get me started when we both got drank at that ball one time. I still can't remember what happened. Though she never stopped blushing while looking at me for a while. Did I mention she has one wicked right hook? Sounds to me like you two are together. Said Aishin, getting some payback at Naruto, and said teen just dunked under the water to hide from the questions. Zero behind the rock. Zero. Asuna heard about this. Theodora person, and she just didn't like it. She felt like she was just punched in the gut and a loose tear fell from her face. Who was this girl to take her Naru-kun away from her? Wait, my Naru-kun, when the hell did that happen, and why does it hurt? Asuna thought a bit about it, but her head started to hurt a little and she clenched her fist hard, and Setsuna saw this. Zero with the man, teen, and boy Zero. The three heard the voices of the other girls coming closer. Okay, please tell me they are just lost and it is still our time in the baths. Naruto almost begged his fellow males. I think we should just leave using the back exit, Aishin suggested. Read my mind. Naruto was already up and running with Negi and Aishin behind him. Not looking where he was going, Naruto bumped into Asuna, who was hiding behind the wall, and landed on top of her. Beautiful, Naruto whispered as he looked at Asuna, and Asuna blushed hard hearing it and loved it, but that love turned to rage a second later. The doors then opened to the sight of Naruto still atop Asuna. Loud shouting took place a few seconds after. Most of them screams from Naruto being beaten to death. Zero after the bathing incident. Zero. Atop a tree overlooking the Kensai Magic Association headquarters, Chigusa and Fate stood on a branch, watching the mansion. Hey new kid, you said not to follow them and now look what happened. They reached the place and already gave the letter. Chigusa barked. I will take care of it, Fate said calmly before jumping down from the tree. Zero with Asuna and Kanoka. Zero. Wow, it is really beautiful here, Kanoka, Asuna said looking at the cherry blossom trees. Yeah. They are always in bloom here for some reason, Kanoka explained. I still can't believe Kanoka is a mage, Asuna thought, and Kanoka's dad is a friend of the Thousand Master, Naruto and Negi's dad. Come to think of it, the headmaster knew Negi was a mage when he came to school. That, and Kanoka is his granddaughter, so it should make sense. Why didn't I see it before? Did you say something, Asuna? And nothing. You're silly, Asuna, Kanoka joked. I wonder what Sei-chan wants to talk about. So do I. Asuna was not looking where she was going and hit her head on something hard. When they turned their gaze to the object they saw, it was a stone arm coming out of the servants' quarters. Inside were many statues that looked eerily like the maids panicking. What is this? This is. Asuna, we need to find Naruto-kun, fast. Zero with Negi. Zero. I'm glad that Kanoka's father is friends with the Thousand Master. I mean, he promised to take me to his home here in Kyoto tomorrow. Negi said to his ermine friend. That's right, we gave him the letter and finished all our objectives here. Chamo exclaimed. They continued to walk throughout the mansion, but stopped when they heard a scream. What was that? Negi shouted. I think it came from the girl's room. Negi ran to the girl's room and slammed the sliding door open. The sight he came to were the girls standing in place. Huh, what are you all doing? You seem so stiff. Is this some kind of game? Negi and Nikki, they're not playing. Chamo shouted, worried. He got on top of one of the girls' head and showed that they did not react. They've been petrified. Nodoka-san, Asakura-san, Peru-san, Negi shouted with some tears. Negi and Nikki, this isn't time to be crying. We have to see if anyone else is in trouble. The enemy might still be here. That's right. Where is Asuna-san? Negi bust out of the room looking for her. Negi ran around the mansion shouting out her name without getting a response. Please don't let her be petrified too. That's right, I'll use the card. Asuna-san, Asuna-san. 0 with Asuna and Kanoka 0. Asuna's head snapped up hearing Negi's voice. Negi, where are you? She looked around seeing he wasn't there. Oh, I know. Asuna took out her pactio and put it on her head. Negi, are you okay? I'm with Kanoka right now. Asuna-san. Thank goodness. Negi, what's happening? Protect Kanoka-san. The enemy is at headquarters. What? I thought we cleared everything up. They are still after Kanoka-san. Let's meet back at the baths from before. Asuna, did something happen? Kanoka asked worriedly. Kanoka, the bad guys are here and they're after you. Asuna explained. But how? Naruto-kun said the barrier around the building was really strong. I don't know, but I will protect. Just watch my back and use your magic when you got to. Asuna pulled out her pactios, Adit, summoning her giant paper fan and gauntlets, and Kanoka got out her wand. 0 with Naruto 0. Naruto was currently in his father's safe house looking for any clues that may help him deal with his new foe. Let's see. Magic for Dummies junk. 100 ways to use magical arrows as pranks junk. Baby pictures of Naruto-jun. Okay, let's hid that somewhere. He threw it into a pocket dimension. Why can't that idiot write down anything that could be remotely helpful? He got a buzz in his head and turned around. The barrier was breached, but how did the Tertium is there, damn it. 0 with Negi 0. Staff. Negi shouted, summoning his staff from its location. He was running down the hall swiftly, trying to reach the baths. Negi and Nikki, you need to chill. If they are using petrifaction, they aren't aiming to hurt innocent bystanders. Chamo said, trying to stay on Negi's shoulders. Okay, but still, Negi came to a halt and put his staff up to attack at the incoming person at the end of the corner. He was met with the tip of a blade at his throat. His eyes widened seeing that it was Setsuna. Setsuna-san, shouldn't you be at the baths? Asuna-san headed there to talk to you. Something set my alarm bells off, so I came to see what's going on. Setsuna asked. It's like this. Negi-kun, Setsuna-kun, the voice of the chief came from behind both of them. They whipped around, eyes widening at the sight. The chief was behind them, half petrified from the waist down. Chief. I'm so sorry, you too. It seems I overestimated the temple's barrier. Blame too much peace, it caught me completely by surprise. To think, I once stood with the Thousand Master. I shame myself. By now the petrifaction had reached his shoulders. Chief. Negi-kun, Setsuna-kun. That boy with the white hair, beware of him, his power is to the extreme. No ordinary spellcaster should be able to get past the barrier. Naruto-kun is the only one who can take him. The petrifaction had hold of the back of his head. Negi-kun, Setsuna-kun, contact the headmaster, you're likely going to have it rough. Take care of Kanoka, forgive me. With that last sentence Aishin was nothing more than a statue. Chief, Negi shouted. A few moments of silence passed by before Negi spoke. Setsuna-san. Hi Negi-sensei, let's go. 0 with you 0. You was running through the forest with haste. We were just playing cards mere moments ago. 0 This is a flashback. 0. Haruna, Nodoka, you and Kazumi were in the room playing cards when they heard a knock on the door. Haruna slid open the door to be met with a white-haired boy. Yay, who are you little boy? The boy spoke some words that she couldn't comprehend, and then dust filled the room causing Haruna to cough. When was done she became stone. Peru, Nodoka shouted. She was in the midst of drawing her card. Your artifact is too dangerous, the boy said. I'll have you sleep through this. Kazumi's eyes widened then pushed you out the door. You Kai, go get help, Kazumi whispered. But you're smart able to last. Just go. 0 And that's the end of the flashback 0. Easy for you to say Asakura. Even if I did, there is no policeman in Japan that will investigate in the Kakamami story, she spoke to herself. But those two silhouettes filled Yu's mind. Dream or no dream, I can contact them. Yu got on her phone and dialed a number. 0 at the Hotel 0. Back at the hotel, Kaide's phone went off. Nagase here. Well, if it isn't Baka leader. What's wrong, you don't know? You have to calm down, Dagozuru. In the mountains you say. So basically you need us to pull your butt from the fire, right, leader? Kaide finished with a smirk. What's up, Kaide? Mana asked. 0 with Asuna and Kanoka 0. Inside the baths, Kanoka and Asuna waited for their friends. Looks like Negi isn't here yet, and where is that blonde Baka when you need him? Asuna stated. Sei-chan is missing too. Kanoka said. Stay behind me, okay? Hi. The pair never noticed the white-haired boy coming out of the ground behind them. He was right behind him, using water to attack. At the last moment, Asuna turned around and hit the boy on the head with her giant fan, going straight into a defensive stance. Amazing. You reacted like a trained warrior. The boy complimented Asuna. Yet you aren't up to protecting the princess. It's time for you to go to sleep too. He snapped his fingers, engulfing Asuna in smoke. Cracking was heard, then shattering. He was surprised to see that Asuna had not turned to stone, and only that her clothes were affected, stripping her bare. Kya, what happened? She shouted, trying her best to cover herself. Asuna. Kanoka attempted to reach her friend, but she felt a presence behind her and fired 7 arrows of light at a demon and destroying it. It seems the princess will be more difficult than I thought. Wait, I won't let you take Kanoka. Asuna roared, though blushing because of her indecent sight. She was still on the ground with her fan in hand. Her free hand was used to cover her breasts. Well, good thing I was prepared in case she was stubborn. The boy said, pulling out a charm and rushing to Kanoka. She quick made a 5-layer barrier to protect herself, but the white-haired boy merely shattered it and stuck the charm to Kanoka's forehead. Ah! Screamed Kanoka as she violently collapsed on the floor. Kanoka, you bastard! Screamed Asuna, forgetting her state, and charged at the boy. The boy dodged easily and punched Asuna in the gut, causing her to drop to her knees and gasping for air. The boy walked to Kanoka as she was violently shaking from the pain she was in, and then a ball of light the size of a basketball came out of her. That should be plenty. I thank you for the offering, princess. Said the boy as he was about to teleport away when he just dodged a punch from Naruto. Fate looked at the newcomer. Well, Naruto-kun, I was wondering where you were. Sorry, Fate got caught up in some reading. Said a pissed-looking Naruto, and he gave 2 quick looks to Asuna and Kanoka. Well, as much as I wish to continue our fight, I need to see that woman. Said Fate as he gated away with the ball of magic. Naruto threw his cloak to Asuna and she thanked him as he cradled Kanoka in his arms. She was on the verge of tears from the pain she was just in. He whispered sweet nothings in her ear to calm her, and Asuna watched this, feeling a little jealous. That was when Negi and Setsuna came in. Ojo-sama, yelled Setsuna as she rushed to her lady's side. Negi went to Asuna and used a small healing heal on the bruise on her stomach. What happened, Ni-san? Negi asked as he and Negi got a quick review from Asuna about what happened. Naruto congratulated the two for fighting off a strong opponent for so long, and then Kanoka gave a quick kiss to Naruto on the lips for helping her. Of course, this just happened to stir Asuna's ire even more for some reason. Naruto told Kanoka to get her outfit on, and she nodded as he walked over to Asuna. Yay, blonde? She asked with more hostility than she wanted. I got some cloths for you to wear, Asu-chan, unless you like fighting in the nude. Asked Naruto with a grin. Asuna blushed and tried to see what cloths, but just saw a small ball. Naruto, where are the cloths? This is a magic ball, just squeeze it and the cloths come on automatically like how Kono-chan did it. Naruto said as he tilted his head to Kanoka as she was already in her medic outfit, and Asuna nodded. She squeezed the ball and was surrounded by light. She was in a white dress that spilled open at her waist and was attached by white and red belts, and she was wearing black short shorts and had black socks with white boots that had crosses on them with white gloves. Her neck had a white ruffled ascot with some feathers on the back of her neck coming out of a black choker too. She gave herself a once-over and blushed and grabbed Naruto by the neck and started to shake him. What the hell, you pervert? Asu-chan, the ball makes cloths of how you would vision it. Said Naruto, grinning and thinking, bullshit, I love magic. Asuna blushed, but she did find the cloths cool, looking like some superhero. So now what? Asked Asuna. Well, Asu-chan, as the valiant heroes, it is our job to stop whatever they are doing. As the leader, no one can stop the great Naruto-sama. Said Naruto as he pumped his fist in the air. The others stared and giggled a bit at his actions. Okay, you did not just see me channel dad just now. Said a panicking Naruto, and Negi's sweat dropped at how this was what their father acted like. Yes, Yes, it might work, it just might work, exclaimed Chamo. We get Setsuna and San to kiss Negi Aniki since she already kissed Naruto Aniki. Asuna grabbed him. Don't start that crap again, you pervert. The kissing game still in her mind. No, and San with magic in her as well as her using ki, she would get a super duper power boost, and with Naruto Aniki doing the same, said a convinced Chamo. But kissing is serious stuff, said Asuna. She is right, Chamo-kun. Must think about Ojou-sama, whispered Setsuna repeatedly. While Konoka nodded. If she wants to let her Chamo, right now we got to go, said a serious Naruto. The others nodded and left with him. Zero with Fate Zero. Damn it, new kid, you had Ojou-sama right there and you didn't take her. She was proving to be stubborn since she was able to fight back. This way we have the magic and we can use it. I even siphoned extra for some demons you can summon since they are most likely to regroup and counter-attack, especially with Naruto-kun in their group. What is with you and that blonde hottie anyway? Naruto-kun is a worthy opponent and I will fight him. Interfere in my battle unless it is very important, and I will kill you, said Fate with absolute seriousness. Chigusa panicked at that and nodded. Just then the Naruto party arrived. Chigusa smiled wickedly and summoned an army of demons. The girls and Negi were freaking out a bit from all the demons. Naruto and Fate stared at each other and they both had a non-verbal conversation. Neg, listen up, you are to never fight this boy. If you do you will die to him. Save him for me. As for you three, stick together and focus on your strengths. Kono-chan, stick to healing and long-range spells. Setsuna-chan, you're the front-line attacker, get them and break their ranks. Asu-chan, your Pactios are perfect for this as you're the front guard. Attack them and defend Setsuna-chan and Kono-chan and remember what I taught you. Neg, be careful and keep them safe, Naruto said with authority, and Negi looked at his brother in awe and nodded not to let his brother down. The girls nodded as well and he and Fate dashed away from the area. Zero with Naruto and Fate Zero. They both land a good distance away from the battle royal and stared at each other. Well, Fate, it seems we are going to get to finish our fight after all, Naruto stated with a blank look. Fate also had a blank look, but if one looked closely enough they could see a very small smile on his face. Yes, Naruto-kun, we will, and hopefully there will be no interruptions, Fate said. And so the two titans of power charged at each into what would be a truly deadly battle. The two stared at each other as the wind blew around them from the power they were letting out. As the wind stopped they charged. Zero play Yakusoku Sareta Shori no Tsurugi Kenji Kawaii version on loop 0. As the two went into a devastating battle of fists, the two were analyzing each other's fighting styles. From what Fate saw, Naruto was using a loose kung fu style with a few other styles in the mix, which was more offensive since he seemed to be using the kung fu as more for defense, as the offensive one gave hard punches and kicks. Naruto could see that Fate was using Chinese martial arts and some of the older styles he had heard about in the art. The two broke off and decided to bring the level of this fight to a magic one. And the two continued to stay some distance from each other, launching magical arrows, swords, and lances of stone, lightning, and fire. As this was happening, Naruto could help but notice Fate's barrier system and found little to no weak spots in it. To this he frowned, remembering how his uncle Al told him about the Avarunkus and their defenses. It seemed that each of them held the same, and from the memories it seemed to be truly powerful. Zero with Asuna, Konoka, and Setsuna Zero. Asuna making quick work with her fan, but the fatigue was beginning to start affecting her. That makes 10 more. I'm awesome, she panted between breathes before taking out a few more. This brat, shouted a demon angry for his lost comrades. Get her, said a kitsune demon as the closed in on her. Asuna had no time to react but was aided by Setsuna striking with her sword, Shinmei Ryu Ugi, Hyakuretsu Aokazan. She proclaimed, slaying the demons with great grace that had petals floating. Thanks Setsuna-san, said Asuna, you're pretty good at this. Setsuna smiled at the praise. Yes, Asuna-san, you too, take the right, she told her, which she nodded, and the two girls got back to back, both breathing deeply. We're a pretty good team, huh? Asuna smirked. When we get back from the school trip, how about teaching me some kendo, Setsuna-san? Setsuna's face flushed at this request. That's fine, but I'm still learning, she mumbled the last part. Duck, said Konoka as she fired 51 arrows of light, destroying a row of demons. You guys need to watch your backs better, she said in a scolding fashion as she panted. Damn, They beat 209 troops in minutes. Are these girls monsters? Said one demon. Ah, there's our enemy the Shinmei Ryu, but anyway that girl's fan is cheating boss, that mage isn't helping us either. Muttered an armored demon to the boss demon. Zero with Negi Zero. As Negi was flying to the monkey lady he didn't notice the shadow dogs till the last second. Anagami, he thought before casting, Deflectio. But this caused him to fall off his staff but Negi quickly held out his hand, staff. He said calling the staff back to him so he could cushion his fall with wind. Yo Negi, shouted a familiar voice, ho, what a pleasant surprise, who knew I'd have a chance to face you again so soon. Looks like Hero Negi's hit a dead end, said the voice. Negi turned to see, Katarao-kun. Oh, so not good, said Chamo. Negi blocked a claw strikes from Katarao with his own hands, both jumping away from each other after the block. Negi, what is it, come at me for real, said Kotaro smirking. Out of the way Katarao-kun. I don't have the time to fight with you now. Negi shouted back but Kotaro just grinned. I don't like this, huh? Too bad. Negi Aniki stop using your magic you can't afford it, you're already fronting for Ansan. Warned Chamo as he pointed toward the pillar of light where you could make out two figures fighting. Look at the pillar of light. The ritual is going to finish in a matter of minutes. We have to hurry, he told Negi. I know Chamo-kun. He turned his attention back to Katarao. Katarao-kun, why are you helping that monkey lady? He asked. She is trying to do bad things. Negi pleaded. What Chigusa-ne-chan does is no concern of mine. He replied without a care. I stand against the hateful Western mages that's way I help her. Not that it's been without perks. I got to meet you Negi, didn't I? It's great. You're the first kid my age I can go toe-to-toe with. Fight. This fight is meaningless, cried out Negi shocked at Kotaro's motivation. If you're looking for a match, we can fight as many times as you like after he offered. Give me a break, Katarao shouted. If you use your full power and beat me, you'll still be able to make it. Come on Negi, you're a man aren't you? Katarao goaded. Negi got a determined look on his face and took Chamo from his shoulder much to his worry. Fine, said Negi as Kotaro got a big fanged smile. Hey, now we're talking, he said getting ready to charge. Negi Aniki, pleaded Chamo. Don't worry Chamo-kun, it'll be over in a minute, said Negi his eyes focused on his opponent. Gah, not good at all. His stubbornness and childishness is working against him. Chamo thought in horror. The two boys then charged at each other screaming but were cut off by a large shuriken blocking their path. What? Said Kotaro confused. He was then pushed away by a palm attack and knocked into a tree. After images. Multi-person attack, said Kotaro getting up. Who are you? He shouted. Negi then spotted a figure in the tree that turned out to be Kaide holding you in her arms. Nagase-san, you-san. Negi cried shocked by their appearance. To lose oneself in the heat of battle and forget your purpose, you lack devotion Negi Bozu. Commented Kaide. Who are these girls? Asked Kotaro annoyed that these girls had interrupted his fight with Negi. Nagase-san. How did you? Negi tried to ask but was cut off by you. I called her on my cell phone Negi-sensei. She got up to his face smiling with one eye open. Don't need to worry about this one, she said tapping his head. The time now is for action, not thought, she said pushing him away so he could get into a run. Thank you Nagase-san, said Negi. Hey Negi, wait, shouted Kotaro about to chase Negi but was stopped by Kaide throwing a couple of her own knives at his feet. He then glared at Kaide. Hey you, with the showy legs. Out of my way, the anger mark showing on his forehead now. I'm not in the habit of hitting women, but... Kaide put on a light smile. PFF'd. Katarao, was it? Boy, in that you recognize Negi Bozu as a worthy adversary, your gaze is keen indeed. But, for now, you abandon the rhetoric and fight for real. For the time being, at least, I am stronger than Negi Bozu. In an instant there were several copies of Kaide all spinning the kunai. I am Koga-chunin, Nagase Kaide. Prepare yourself. Kotaro gaped then smirked before summoning his dog spirits. Fine with me, he shouted. Zero back with Naruto Zero. The battle stopped as they calmed down to analysis each other again and Naruto decided to take a note from his father's book and do something so ridiculously stupid that it would work. He created a clone and had it cast an ancient Greek spell while he charged at fate with the Raijin no Ken. Tempestas of Meus Pectus Pectoris, to symbolion Diaconeto Moi, Omicron Tyran Flogos, Epigenetheto, Phlox catharsios, Romphia phlogon, Rheosonton pyre kai theion, ha epiphlagon sodoma, hamartalis, ice chun thanadu, urania phlogosis. Heed the contract and serve me, O tyrant of flame. Come, flame of purification, fiery broadsword. Fire and brimstone surge forth, burning down Sodom, turning the sinners into the dust of death. Blazing heat in the sky. As the massive firestorm filled the area, it was unknown if Naruto or Fate lived. As the fire died down, Fate was in the massive burning crater with a few burns but nothing serious. I must say Naruto-kun, disguising a distract and run tactic with a suicide run was very brilliant. If I didn't pull my barrier up at the last second it could have hurt badly. How did you do it? Asked a curious Fate as he stated it was genius. Standing next to the clone Naruto was the real one, dismissing the clone and picking up a Harishun kunai and spinning it. Ah, your teleportation magic, very interesting technique you created, Naruto-kun. Naruto just grinned and charged as Fate created two stone swords to counter Naruto's Raijin no Ken. Naruto went for a horizontal slash as Fate ducked and performed his own with both his swords, and Naruto flipped over him. As Naruto was in midair, Fate recited, Basilisk Galiote Metacoctopoden Kai Kakoin Amatoin Nin Tu Utun Cronin Perirasan. Nu Patras, Basilisk, lizard with 8 legs and evil eyes. Breath of poison stealing time. Breath of stone. As he breathed out to Naruto, but he quickly countered to destroy the spell with, Dios Taikos. Axe of lightning, to save himself from the petrifaction. With their spells nulling each other out, they continued to fight with their swords. Naruto got some distance and made 8 other clones and attacked Fate together in hopes to catch him off guard. Sadly, Fate was able to cut 3 clones in half and another 2 with some earth spicks, leaving him and 3 other clones. He jumped out of the fray and started chanting, Venient Spiritus Aerials Fulguriens. Cum fulguration flet tempestas ostrina, Iovis tempestas fulguriens, and aimed at his last clone and Fate, but the white-haired boy disposed of the last clone and started chanting as well, Omicron Tartaros Kaimen and Basilian Nepsron. Piansatos Eman, Omicron Monolithos Kaian Tu Ido, O, Temple of the Sleeping Dead beneath the earth, appear from below us. Pillars of Hades, to counter the Jupiter Storm spell, and the 2 collided and the ancient Greek spell overpowered the Latin one and forced Naruto on the defensive. Naruto threw a few Harishun kunai and made a barrier. Fate raised an eyebrow as he was sure Naruto knew that a magical barrier was useless to this kind of attack. Just as the pillar touched the barrier, Naruto yelled out, Jikoken Kekai. Time-space barrier. 1, and the attack flew into the barrier, and a second later Naruto redirected it at Fate, much to his surprise, and he quickly cancelled the spell, but some small shrapnel of the attack still hit him. 0 and Yakusoku Soreta Shori no Tsurugi 0. 0 with Asuna, Kanoka, and Setsuna 0. Bang asterisk bang asterisk bang, I'll have to put this on your tab, Setsuna. Said Mana with a rifle. Wow, look at all monsters, Uru. Are they real? Asked Ku-Fei. Tatsumiya-san, Ku-Fei, exclaimed Asuna. Wah, Sei-chan, help, screamed Kanoka as a bird demon grabbed her and flew in the air. Setsuna acted on instinct, grew her wings and flew in the air and slashed the bird demon and caught Kanoka. Kanoka opened her eyes and looked in awe. Sei-chan. Setsuna looked away in shame. You look like an angel. Setsuna gasped at the compliment and teared up a bit. Wow, Setsuna-san, you look beautiful, said Asuna. 0 with Naruto 0. The two were breathing a bit heavy and stared at each other, mostly likely trying to figure their next move. Fate gave a small chuckle. Excellent, Naruto-kun, truly a magnificent display of power. Yes, you are truly a worthy opponent for me. I think only those of all Arubra and the other Avarunkas could give me such a challenge. Enough tertium, what is your objective here? Asked Naruto, though he had a feeling he knew what it was. Very well, Naruto-kun, I was sent to see if the younger Springfield was a future threat, but you are clearly much more of one, as a 10-year shouldn't be too powerful anytime soon. Underestimating him will be your downfall, tertium, Naruto thought with smirk. But I have a question as well, Naruto-kun, that girl who could nullify my spell, what is she? Asked a curious Fate. Naruto's features stoned and stared at Fate. She is my partner, nothing more and nothing less, Fate. He said, lying, not wanting more bastard after Asuna again. You truly are lucky then, Naruto-kun, to find such a partner. Now let us continue, Fate said, but stopped mid-sentence and scowled. I truly am sorry, Naruto-kun, as it is my turn to leave our battle early. That woman is more trouble than she is worth, said Fate as he gated away. Naruto cursed and raced back to the battlefield via Shundo. 0 The Demon Battle Royal 0. He saw a giant demon appear at the lake and some demons left and surprisingly Mana and Ku Fei as well fighting them off. He launched 199 lightning arrows to leave a few dozen left out of the 1/3 of the original group that was still around. He smirked at the girls and dashed to the big one. Asu-chan, Setsuna-chan, Kono-chan, Neg, what's up? Naruto said cheerfully as he landed near the group and faced fate. They gave him a quick recap and he nodded. Naruto assessed the situation and sighed. The big demon was more important than fate this second and had to make a difficult choice. I need you guys to hold this one off as I take care of the big one. Be careful because if you're not, you may die, Naruto said in all seriousness to them. Hey Booya, can you hear me? That voice, Chamo exclaimed. Hey, it wasn't much, but I got to see you fight, the idiot too. Still got a long way to go Booya. Let's see what you can do. In fact, if you can hold out for another 90 seconds, I'll come and help put this baby to bed. That voice, can it be? Said Asuna. Can be and is, said Negi. The way you fight is fine Booya but, when you're a kid you should be a kid, get a little reckless like that idiot brother of yours, that's how your father fought. Love ya too Eva-chan. Naruto said, Negi you got this. Negi nodded and he with the 3 girls got ready. Naruto dashed past Fate and headed for the demon. Fate stared at him and then focused on Negi. I hope you do not disappoint me as I was enjoying fighting Naruto-kun, but I might as well see what the second Springfield child can do. He said as he charged at Negi. 0 with Naruto 0. Adit, he shouted and made 10 clones and ordered them to surround the demon. They did and tied it down with the chains from his Pactio. Ha 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 ha, you think a few chains can stop my demon foolish Western mage. She laughed as her demon struggled to get free and to its surprise it couldn't. Chigusa saw this and sneered at the teen. What did you do? Naruto chuckled at her. My Pactio is not just some mere chains bitch, it is called Aranicus chains or heavenly chains and it possess holy powers made to hold demons and the stronger the demon the stronger the chains are. Chigusa was shocked but got over it and laughed, so all you can do is hold it, you won't last long. Naruto just stared at her, you know you are such an annoying bitch, I'm ending this in, you. Naruto said and made a clone to try his new idea out. Tempestas of Meus Pectus Pectoris. To symbolion diaconeto moi, basilu oironyanon. Epigenethato athalis karane os titenas therine, akatontakis kai chiliacus astrapsido, kilipal astrain, heed the contract and serve me, O Lord of the heavens. Come forth, titan slaying blazing thunder. Hurl down lightning 100 times and even 1,000 times. 1,000 thunderbolts, he chanted. Aperier noem seras, et egressus acervum legiarn, gladius divinus flamme ardent. Open the 9 locks, and come forth from the horde of Legiarn, divine sword of blazing conflagration. His clone chanted. Incantator's synthesis, Mil Divina Expugnation Inferno. Spell synthesis, 1000 Divine Storming Inferno. 2. They both finished chanting. A large storm of lightning came down on the demon as a pillar of fire struck from underneath trapping the demon and Chigusa causing a large explosion. Naruto was panting as he was using up most of his magic for that one just to control it, let alone the amount of magic to use the ancient spell with a high-level fire spell. A beat, he said as he got his Pactio and his clones popped away. He turned to see Eva arrive and deal with fate. He was falling a bit when Chachimaru helped him up and flew him to her master. Eva grinned at her fellow blonde. I must say idiot, that was an amazing synthesis spell and very flash too, still I think it would have been better with my ice. Eva said twirling her hand in the air. Yay, but it costs hell of a lot since I'm still trying to work out the tweaks to it, and what are you talking about, fire and lightning are much more showy than ice unless you want a sculpture. Naruto grinned back. Peef, whatever idiot, you just can appreciate art like some of us can. As she crossed her arms and turned away and looked at Negi. Listen well Booya, think of this as one of the games I play and wonder why the final boss, saved you during the first dungeon. I can't be there for you next time and neither the idiot, Kappa C. Gotcha, Negi groaned. Whoa Booya, you look like shit. Are you alright? Naruto felt a spick in magic and turned. He saw fate coming from a puddle ready to strike Eva. He rushed and pushed her out of the way. He tried to pull a Harashin kunai out but was a second slow and he was pieced in the back by a stone spear. There was dead silence as time moved to a crawl as Naruto roughly landed on the ground. Eva growled and attacked the white-haired boy, slicing him in half. I see, I don't think I care to face a Shinso right now, but too bad for Naruto-kun as I wished to fight him again. He said as he dissipated into water. Coward, He moved like he was artificial, maybe a doll of some sorts. Eva said as she whipped around at the idiot. You fool, I would have been fine if it hit me. She yelled at Naruto as Asuna cradled his head. Hey, sorry Eva-chan, but this is what FR friends do for each other. He said, grinning that Springfield grin. Eva-chan, can't you do anything? Cried Asuna. I never really learned healing magic as I never saw the need to. She said with a panicked look. Kanoka, Asuna rounded to the brunette. She was tearing up too. I can use healing magic but not to this level of damage. She said as she hugged Setsuna as the winged girl was shocked at what was happening. No, I don't want to lose anyone else, please someone help me san. Negi screamed in his mind. He always thought his brother was invincible, but this was reality crashing down on him. Kanoka ne-san's healing ability. Have Kanoka ne-san kiss Negi Aniki for a pactio. It will enhance her powers. Chamo said, desperately not wanting to lose one of his bros. Negi-kun. He nodded and the two kissed. Pactio. Suddenly Kanoka was in a shrine maiden outfit with two fans. She waved her fans and Naruto's wound was stitching up by the second. Negi grinned but collapsed as well as his body was half petrified. Kanoka healed him as well. The two woke up seconds later and smiled at their friends around them. Thought Eva and Asuna beat the crap out of Naruto for being an idiot and Kanoka didn't heal him for scaring her. Zero with Chigusa Zero. What the hell is that kid? Damn it. Oh well, I'll just come up with a new plan and take care of him and his little brother. Sorry lady, but that's not happening. Chigusa turned to see a green-haired doll with a large knife. Wanna see how the real bad guys play with dolls? The doll grinned. Chigusa's screams filled the night air. Zero the next morning. Zero. Leaving so soon, said Evangeline to Setsuna as she sat next to Chachimaru. At least say goodbye before you. Setsuna cut her off. Seeing them will only make it harder. As she was about to leave, she was tied with chains. From the shadows Naruto walked out with bedhead and with a black t-shirt with gray sweats. Sigh, Setsuna-chan, how many times do I have to tell you, you got to stop with this crap. It's the law of my people, if I reveal my identity I have to. She stopped after Naruto flicked her nose. So Negi would turn into an ermine if his magic is revealed, Eva-chan's a vampire, and Cha-chan is a robot. Do you think we care? Besides, don't you think you'll hurt Kono-chan by leaving? But, Setsuna stuttered. What did Kono-chan say when she saw them? She said I looked like an angel. She said quietly. There is your answer. Stay with the people who care for you, Setsuna-chan. Naruto smiled brightly at her. Or do I have to keep you tied and carry you back? Naruto grinned. Setsuna blushed at the notion. Sei-chan, we got trouble. Kanoka said as she and Asuna tackled the two. Yay, it's an emergency even, said Asuna. Wah. The paper copy's gone crazy, we got to go. The rest of the group come out and greeted her, ready to go. Yay, let's go. Thank you, Naruto-sensei. Setsuna whispered the last part to him. Naruto smirked. It's what I do, Sei-chan, it's what I do. Zero later that day. Zero. Well, that was a close one, commented Kazumi holding up the paper charms. Got that right. When those paper copies started doing a striptease, I didn't know what to do, replied Chamo on her shoulder. Still, I'll bet it was nothing compared to yesterday, Chamo Kai. She winked as the ermine pulled out a cigarette. Luckily for both Mai and Naruto Aniki's quick thinking, another disaster was averted, but that's a story for another day. Here we are, school field trip, midday, and they are sleeping. Sheesh. After yesterday, can you blame them? He told her as Shizuna came round the corner. She waved, noticing the girl. Asakura-san, make sure to those group photos for me. She said to the student. I'm on it, Shizuna-sensei, chill. She waved back before taking out her camera. What was that about? Chamo asked as Kazumi loaded the camera. I do have work of my own, you know, she said singingly. Zero with Group 4-0. In the hotel, onsen Group 4 was currently bathing. Sigh, the last day of the field trip already? Asked Akko, scrubbing her back with a towel. It felt kinda long but also kinda short, Meiki replied. What part did you like best? Akko then questioned her group. Meiki was the first to answer. The battle for Negi-kun and Naruto-kun on day 2, maybe. Yuna however disagreed with this statement. Nah, it wasn't. All I remember was squatting till morning and getting caught, twice. The best part was Cinema Town, right Tatsumiya-san? She asked Mana. Yay, I guess. She then heard giggling. Felt that, she commented turning round as Kazumi poked her head out the bushes with her camera. Hey, what the hell are you doing, Asakura? Yuna shouted as Mana discreetly put away her gun. I'm just taking a group memorial photo, she told them. This is peeping, cried Akko, annoyed at her classmates' antics. Oh, could sell this one on eBay. Kazumi grinned herself as Chamo began to wonder how much he had on him at the moment. There was a unified call of, "Don't you dare," from the others. Zero with Group 3-0. Group 3 were currently changing in their room, you could tell as there was a note saying so on their door. Yukihiro Ayaka have gained an unexpected personal growth over this trip. She said to herself, still in just a skirt and bra. What kind of growth, Ainsho? Natsumi asked. Ayaka turned round with a strong expression. Why, my growth in my love for Negi-sensei, of course. But Ayaka was unprepared as she felt Chizuru grab her breasts from behind, measuring them. Fufu, that's not the only place you've had personal growth. She giggled. Ayaka's response was a, hiya. Chizuru, still smiling, suggested, how about we compare them? It's been so long, would you like to join us, Chisame-san? This got the girl on the defensive. What, who would compare themselves with giant-breasted people like you? Natsumi stood silent behind, not wishing to talk about this subject due to her lack in said subject's size. Kazumi readily changed, grabbed Natsumi before she could go off to sulk. Come on, y'all smush together now. She pulled the four of them into the hall where her camera was set up to take their picture and managed to catch Zazie mid-dressed too. This caused anger to rise in Chisame and Ayaka. That better not show where I think it might show. Chisame shouted to the fleeing girl, who laughed. Kazumi managed to get pictures of the other two groups before heading off to find the library group and the rest of Group 5. Zero with Negi and Party Zero. Time to transform and roll out, people, shouted Eva as she, the library crew and Kazumi walked into the room, shocking Negi, Setsuna, Asuna and Kanoka. Mama's gonna go see herself some Kyoto, and she ain't doing it alone. She told them. But we have to meet the elders soon, whined Negi. Zero towards the secret Nagi cave. Zero. Later on, the group met up with Aishin, who greeted them while smoking. Hello everyone, did you get some rest? The group nodded while Asuna thought, whoa, check out the civvies. Kanoka quickly plucked the cigarette from his fingers, muttering, no smoking. As Aishin addressed the others, the two had talked apparently early and are good with each other again as long as her father stopped her grandfather from getting her to go to Omiyai's. It's in these back mountains. We're looking for a narrow 3-story building. Naruto-kun is already there. He informed them as the girls whispered amongst themselves. Elder, about Kotarao-kun, Negi began to ask, which Aishin answered before he could ask. I don't think him too harshly. Even if he was working with Amagasaki Chigusa. Anyway, please leave the rest to us. What about the white-haired boy, Fate? Eva asked. Aishin turned to her. I'm afraid all we could find was that Fate Avarunkus was the boy's alias and he came to Japan with the Istanbul Magic Association for training. Naruto-kun said he had more info but said it was very hush-hush. They stopped in front of a house completely covered in trees. We are here, he told them. It looks like some kind of hidden home, said Haruna, looking up at the house. The outside is overgrown since it's been 10 years, but the inside is very clean. He told them, please come in, Negi-kun. Once they were inside, they saw it was indeed a very clean house and the walls were lined books and stairs, and saw Naruto laying on the couch reading. Amazing, it's full of books, muttered Haruna. You said, it's not bad. Aishin smiled. I've kept it just like it was when he last visited, but Naruto-kun tends to clean it up as well when he comes. This is where Father once, said Negi in awe as he and the girls began searching through the house, Negi looking for clues and the girls reading through various texts trying to understand some. After a while, Aishin found Negi in a room surrounded by books. How is it going, Negi-kun? He asked. About time people thought you got them lost, Aishin. The older man chuckled. Oh, and why did you come early, Naruto-kun? Asked Aishin. To hide the baby pictures, duh. I got a representative to keep. As the girls heard this, they kinda deflated at that, wanting to see some baby pictures of Naruto. Well, sadly, Naruto-kun, you didn't get them all, Aishin said, grinning evilly as he pulled a picture from his suit and handed it to Asuna for her and the others to see before Naruto could get it. AWWWWW. The girls cooed and Eva fell on the floor laughing. It was a 4-year-old Naruto with whisker marks on his face with blonde fox ears and tail with white tips with a large bag of candy double the size of him. Bastard, that was the one I was looking for, Naruto said as he cursed the old swordsman. Naruto turned to see Negi rushing about. Take it easy Negi, we got all the time to look at this stuff, after all we own it. Naruto grinned at his brother as the young boy smiled. Negi turned to Aishin. Elder, can I ask you something about my father? Aishin rubbed his chin in thought. I suppose, he said before calling down to Kanoka, Setsuna and Asuna to come up to them. Yu however heard him and was intrigued by this. Aishin showed them all 3 old photos. What are these photos? Aishin smiled remembering when the picture was taken. These were the 1,000 Masters' comrades in arms. The one in black is me. This picture is from 20 years ago. Next to me is the 15-year-old Nagi, the 1,000 Master. Replied Aishin. The photo next to it was with the same group but the white-haired boy missing and Naruto present in it on top of Nagi's shoulders grinning the same as Nagi to the camera. The finally photo was of Nagi and Naruto both covered in dirt and cuts wrestling on the ground smiling not even aware that the picture was taken. Naruto smiled at the good time and wished for them back, but sadly it was not so. Negi looked at the pictures and was happy and sad. Happy to see his father in pictures but sad that his brother got to be with their father while he couldn't. Naruto saw this and squeezed Negi's shoulder and smiled him and Negi forgot that line of thinking and remembered he lost their father too and would find him for the both of them. Asuna seemed to recognize someone in the photo but passed it off quickly a little confused but couldn't help the phantom feeling of smiling seeing a young Naruto. She actually snuck the baby picture into her pocket. I was still a young man during the war one fought alongside Nagi as his comrades. And then when peace returned 20 years ago he had become known for his many heroic deeds. They called him the 1,000 Master. Aishin explained but some of the girls not getting it. Thinking back I thought we had become inseparable friends after that. But 10 years ago he suddenly disappeared. Where he was last, what he was doing, no one knows but, Naruto-kun told me otherwise. He sighed. Even I don't know any more than that. I'm sorry Negi-kun. He apologized. Negi just smiled. No, there's no need for that. Thank you. It was then that Kazumi burst into the room. Hey guys, have you finished your secret conversation yet? I'm going to take a memorial photo, so hurry downstairs. She informed them taking a glance at Yu. The girls and the 2 teachers lined up downstairs Chamo riding on Negi's shoulder while Naruto having his arms around both Asuna and Negi grinning at the camera. 0 The train boarding for home 0. Later on the students and teachers were on the train many falling asleep. You know I am quite pleased that the noisy 3A is all asleep and silent. Commented Nita. Yes, they're all tired from all that playing, said Shizuna as she noticed Kanoka sleeping on Setsuna's shoulder before turning to the opposite table. Oh, take a look at them, they fast asleep too. She said seeing Negi lying in between Naruto and Asuna as he had his arm around her. Well aren't they a cute little family? Shizuna noted. 0. 1. A technique used by Namikaze Minato. 2. A self-thought-up synthesis spell combining 2 elements where one attacks from above while the other from underneath trapping the target. 0. There we have it. We are done. Kyoto I bid you adieu. The harem is set and we have the training arc up next. R&R. No flames. And. The lights go dark. Footsteps are heard in the distance. A blonde girl in a black dress and pointed hat with a broom enters the view. She turns and grins at the viewers. Yo people take a guess who I am, if you don't know, well sucks for you Dazi. Engineers got a little teaser hidden away but I decided to borrow it and show y'all what it is. Lucky for us, She plugs it in and turns back to the audience. Sit back and enjoy the show Z. She sits down on her broom and watches. 0. Stupid people, stupid village, stupid ninja. Why can't I be alone from those jerks? A small blonde girl exclaimed as she walked outside her large village. This was one Uzumaki Naruto. She walked till she saw a small shrine and ran for it. Yes, maybe I can find some awesome stuff to sell or something. She continued to look around till an old large black pointed hat with a crooked tip with a purple bow on it fell on her. She admired the hat, it was a bit big but she liked it. Next to it was a strange octagon thing with a yin-yang symbol in it, a broom, and a book. She read the title and it said, The Grimoire of Marissa. She read it and as she did she was liking it more and more. Maybe I can do things like this too, Naruto exclaimed in excitement, and the future of the ninja world was about to meet the return of the black and white witch. 0. Ha ha ha, pretty awesome right? Asked the girl. You thieving witch, where is my teaser? Yelled engineer. Uh-oh, gotta fly da z. See you soon, as she mounted her broom and flew away. Two people were walking down a long corridor. One was the blonde-haired Springfield and the other was one Takahata T. Takamichi. They walked in silence till they arrived at a large door which happened to be guarded by a dragon. The dragon looked at the newcomers and roared but took a quick whiff of the blonde boy, and said boy scratched the dragon's nose as it was purring at the touch. Takamichi laughed at how the dragon was nothing but a puppy to Naruto, and the dragon moved to let them in. After entering they saw a blue-haired man in a white cloak sitting and drinking some tea. Well, Naruto-kun, Takamichi-kun, I must say this is quite the little reunion. Is there something we need to talk about? Questioned the man. Naruto grinned and walked up to the man and gave him a quick hug and sat next to him as Takamichi sat at the other side of the man. Nothing much, Uncle Al, but I think Michi's got his panties in a knot, said Naruto with a lopsided grin. This man was his sarcastic, perverted godfather, Alberio Ima, the healer of his father's group All Arubra. Takamichi just sighed and rubbed his temples. Naruto-kun has taken the liberty of unsealing Asuna-kun's memory seal by a bit. Oh, and why is that a problem? Though he wouldn't be able to open it much since I hold the key to unlock it fully. She isn't ready for that yet, Alberio-san. The reason we sealed them was for her to live a normal life, which Negi destroyed when she saw him use magic. She needs her skills back, Michi. Why can't you see that? Kenka, basic magical know-how that I taught her. Hell, I'm pretty sure with practice she could use her magic cancel on command if I train her right. Are you sure those aren't excuses to get her to remember you? Takamichi shot back calmly. Naruto grinned. Just a bonus. I think I should tell you that an Averunkus was on the trip. He was skilled like you said, Uncle Al. We were in a stalemate till he had to go. He was there to test Negi. He even asked me what a Su-chan was. We need her to be strong, said Naruto. Naruto-kun brings up a good point. If an Averunkus was truly there and it witnessed Asuna-chan's magic cancel, then we have to have her be prepared. I plan on telling her about the memory seal soon, but I won't tell her much about the past, just the important things, said Naruto. And what if she asks about how you fit into all this, Naruto-kun? Questioned his godfather. I will tell her that we were the best of friends before the sealing. She may be having phantom flashes or dreams about the past by now, so I should tell her so she doesn't think she is going crazy. Takamichi sighed. It seems we have come to a decision then. Yes, and I am sorry, Takamichi-kun, but this is for the best. She was shut from our world just to be plunged back in. Best give her the tools to prepare for the worst. And I'm sure Naruto-kun will love to have his princess back, or his other princess, since he has Theodora-sama as well. Questioned Al teasingly. Naruto groaned. First Aishin, now you too, Uncle Al. Man, why can't I catch a break? He said as he slumped in his chair. You just make yourself too easy, Naruto-kun, chuckled Al. Well then, I call this meeting of the cosplay-loving perverts society to a close, Al said as he banged a gavel that came out of nowhere. Naruto went crazy on Al, chasing after him while saying he wasn't a pervert, and Al retaliated by retreating and saying that he would corrupt him one day. Takamichi just laughed at the lively scene. 0 Asuna 0. Was it a dream? Or was it a distant memory? She had been having the weird thoughts lately. Visions of what seemed to be the past. Her past. These visions. They came about when Naruto came. Maybe he has something to do with it. She would see what looked like a younger Naruto in her dreams, along with a younger version of herself. Perhaps this dream will finally have the rest of them make sense. She hoped. She seemed to be in a desert this time. Hey there. She heard a voice and turned to see a gruff-looking older gentleman. You can wash your face over there, the old man said, pointing to a small pool of water. As she bent down she saw her face. She was indeed young from what she could tell. She dried off her face and looked up to the night sky. Such pretty stars, she thought. We're back. Hey Asu-chan. That was quick. Me and the brat caught 3 rat things. Things, as in to eat? She asked while tilting her head to the side cutely. She was waiting for an answer when a blonde blur tackle hugged her. She liked the warm feeling she got from the hug. She looked at the person hugging her and it was a chibi Naruto. Guess you wake up early, huh, Asu-hime? Questioned the chibi Naruto with a grin. Well, little Princess-chan, good to see you up, said the red-haired man with an identical grin. Morning, Naru-kun, Nagi. she said as she wiped the sleep from her eyes. There it was again, Naru-kun. The affectionate suffix her chibi self seemed to use for the blonde. From some of her dreams it was as if they were best friends. When he said that it was okay she didn't remember, was this it? Was this what she forgot when he told her she held a pactio with him? There were so many questions with so little answers. Her thoughts were stopped when Chibi Naruto said something. "Look up in the sky, Asuheim," said Chibi Naruto. "Yep, isn't it a lovely dawn?" said Nagi with a smile, pointing his thumb behind him with Naruto doing the same. It seemed they were so in sync with each other that their mannerisms seemed to be the same. And sadly with that the dream ended without her getting the answers she wanted. What a dream, she thought. Huh, noon already. That's right, it's Sunday. The trip just ended. She turned to hear a scratching sound and saw Negi writing something and Naruto reading something. "What are you, ing about? We just got back." "Peef, that's what I tell him, but Neg likes to keep busy even if he has a day off. By the way, Asu-chan, morning and nice bed head," said Naruto teasingly. She ignored the other 2 mornings she got from Negi and Chamo and rushed to a mirror, and he was right. She quick got a brush so she wouldn't look like slob in front of the blonde. After she finished she saw some chocolate next to Negi. "Nummy, don't mind if I do," she thought as she took a bite of the chocolate. Naruto chuckled at the early intake of sugar and smiled at her. "Asu-chan wanna hang out later? Negi seems to be doing his own thing and I need a partner for the day. We can work on turning your horizon into its sword form or just follow him since trouble loves to tail him," Naruto said, pointing his thumb back at Negi with a grin. Her heart skipped a beat seeing the same smile from the dream she just had. She nodded okay, and that was when Ayaka and Kazumi barged in, and that was when all hell broke loose and the rest of the class entered her room. "And I thought that Sunday was the day of rest," she thought. Later that day. Asuna, Naruto, Negi were walking down a stream. Negi seemed to be leading them somewhere, and when asked he just said, "You'll see." The 3 came upon a small cottage and Negi banged on the door and Chacham